opened up at home and lost to UMass 41-30, beat Western Illinois 58-21 last week on the road at Liberty, where they got beat by the Flames. And we are ready to go. Ethan Albertson will kick it off. It is into the end zone where it will be taken by Luke Wysong, and he's coming out. Wysong across the 15, across the 20 to the 26-yard line. A flag is in late. Lobos will have it at the 26 pending the penalty. Surprised he took it out?
It's a rivalry game. It's Luke Wysong. Not at all. Not at all.
Your referee today is Jonathan Noli. That'll be the gentleman who you hear telling you what's going on.
36. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So back the Lobos up inside their 20, back to about the 15-yard line. The quarterback is the transfer from the University of Alabama, Birmingham, Dylan Hopkins, fifth-year guy. Last week, 13 for 17, threw 4 touchdown passes, was Mountain West Player of the Week.
Yeah, he was actually absolutely incredible last week, was just dropping dimes all over the field. Excited to see what he does tonight with the higher level of talent that's going to be coming in here from this New Mexico State defense.
2 wides to the right, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is the running back. He fakes to Bill, looks and wants to go deep, and is going deep on the first play of the game and just overthrows his receiver, looking deep for for Medford. That's Caleb Medford, who was deep, double teamed. Danny Gonzalez and Brian Vincent, the offensive coordinator, decided let's take a shot on the first one.
Why not? And Caleb Medford has been someone who's been emerging in this Lobo offense, had a beautiful 49-yard catch last week that was about a foot short of the touchdown. Watch him to get a lot of touches tonight. Coach Vincent talked a lot about him yesterday, and so watch him to be a playmaker for this Lobo offense tonight.
The running back is Sherrod White. Dylan looks left and throws it to White. White's got some room across the 25-yard line, and he is dragged down by Keyshawn Elliott, but not before he gets all the way out to the 30-yard line, and a first down for New Mexico. So a creative play drawn up by Brian Vincent, the offensive coordinator. Called the 28.
Yeah, and we're going to see some interesting stuff from this UNM offense. We're going to see them try to work to establish the run at the onset of the game. The vast majority of this offense really runs through their run game. So interesting to see them start with some play action, but it's also going to be critical to get Dylan Hopkins in a rhythm.
Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is dragged down before he could get to the edge. Nice play on the edge by, I believe was that 6 or was that 5 Derville? It was 5. See, when the shirts are up like that, you know, that's J.J. Derville, who leads them in tackles, coming all the way up from the free safety position to make the play. Their safeties are active, and their ends, New Mexico State's ends, are really active.
Yeah, they're fantastic, and Derville is incredible, and he is the type of safety that he can play coverage, but he can also walk up to the line of scrimmage and support you in run.
Throwing again, complete. That's Erickson. 50-yard line and a first down for New Mexico. Andrew Erickson, his 6th catch of the year. Young man from Manzano High School right here in Albuquerque, and a first down and a nice throw by Dylan Hopkins. Lobos want to use multiple receivers. Hickson, who didn't play last week, was their leader at Texas A&M. They love Hickson, but a lot of guys, Wysong, Erickson, Medford, Washington, you'll see a lot of different weapons by New Mexico. Krosky-Merritt right side, knocked down immediately by Keyshawn Elliott. Elliott's the second leading tackler, plays the will linebacker position, a sophomore from Richmond, Missouri. 2 big tackles early and holds Krosky-Merritt to a gain of about 2.
Yeah, and this New Mexico State defense up front is really, really stout. They're not going to allow UNM to establish the run. They don't want them to really establish and work on the run. So that's going to be an interesting battle to watch all night. The game within the game. That old line, that UNM offensive line versus this front 7 from New Mexico State.
Krosky-Merritt with a hole, which gets plugged up, and he breaks 2 tackles, and now he's loose on the outside. Bill spinning all the way down to the 33-yard line and a first down. A gain of about 14 on the play for the guy they call Bill Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, who you think is special.
Yeah, and everybody who sees this guy says that he's special. He has elite speed, his power, his ability to make people miss in tight spaces. You see that there in the hole right in the middle. He's very shifty. For someone who is that size, he's an incredibly quick running back, and he can kind of fool you a little bit.
Deion Wilson had the first shot at him. Bill, transfer from Alabama State. They call him Bill because he looks like Little Bill when he was a kid, the cartoon character. Deion Lewis with the carry on the left side. He catches the edge and is dragged down after a nice gain. Gets him out about 7-8 yards.
Yeah, New Mexico State's actually doing quite a nice job getting some penetration. They seem to be winning this early battle up front early on in this football game. It's just the speed of UNM is able to get to the outside and turn the ball up the field.
Miles Rouser on the tackle for New Mexico State. 2nd down and 3 for the Lobos as they're moving the ball really efficiently on this first drive. 4 minutes elapsed. Lewis again, the running back. It's Washington in motion. Right up the gut, Deion Lewis down to the 8-7 yard line on a big play up the middle. Now you're going to notice guys have different names on there, the different names that we call, and those are kids in the Albuquerque area with Down syndrome. It's a big Down syndrome awareness. They had the buddy walk before the game, and so Lobo players are honoring special needs children around our city by wearing their names. Coach Gonzalez's 2 kids, both of their names are on jerseys today. So we're going to call names, and you're going to say, wait a minute, that's not what's on their jersey, but that's what's going on. It's really special tribute.
Yeah, absolutely love the outreach and the community connection. I mean, that is something that is so crucial. These young men who support and represent this university are incredible people in the community of Albuquerque.
Krosky Merritt is dragged down in the backfield. That'll be a loss. Dragged down by number 26. That is Sterling Webb.
Yeah, and what you're going to see generally on first down is New Mexico State blitzes about 75% of the time on first down. Their defense works to get you behind the chain, so it seems to be their strategy is working early on. So
Webb gets in for the tackle for a loss, drops him back to about the 10-yard line. Call it a loss of 3, maybe just to the 9. 2nd down for New Mexico. And there's a penalty, and it's going to be on New Mexico State. Didn't see the flag. Holding on New Mexico State. Half the distance to the goal, that's an automatic first down. So now the Lobos are set up at about the 3-yard line, courtesy of the penalty. With penalties, we talk to defensive coordinators all the time, and nothing bothers them, especially in the red zone, more than penalties that keep drives alive or push drives like this.
Yeah, and this UNM team has 21 penalties on the year for 209 yards. They're going to have to really tighten that up.
Hopkins wants to throw. He's flushed, and he is dropped. Dropped in the backfield for a loss by Gabe Iniguez. 2nd sack. He had a half a sack coming in. The left end, and we talked to the coaches for New Mexico. They thought the ends for New Mexico State defensively, and they mentioned Webb, Iniguez, Nikhil Webb-Walker, who's not dressed tonight. He had a lower body injury in the Liberty game, but they thought the ends were going to give him trouble.
Yeah, they bring a lot of pressure from different areas, and that time looked like, oh, what do we got here?
They're checking and changing the play. 2nd and goal from the 12 for the Lobos. Bill up the middle, down to the 6-yard line. Dragged down by a few Aggies. J.J. Derville was in there, along with Delvin Kirkland. 3rd down and goal for the Lobos. Kind of feel like it's a big play early, don't you? And knowing Danny Gonzalez a little bit, depending what happens here, you get a weird feeling. Is he thinking 2 downs here?
Potentially, and I was curious to see because Andrew Erickson was in the game. They just switched out for DJ Washington. He's a 6'5" frame, so watch out for that fade into the corner of the end zone.
You called it, partner. They're going into the end zone. It's incomplete. That was on a slant instead. But they were looking for DJ Washington. They love that big body down by the goal line.
They do, and you can tell that New Mexico State was thinking the same thing that we were because the corner was playing outside leverage. It wasn't really – yeah, he forced him in, but that was wide open. That was wide open.
Luke Drizwicki is the Lobo kicker. 1 for 1 on field goals this year. He made a 27-yarder. That was in the game at Texas A&M. This will be from 25 yards to give the Lobos the early lead. He's been perfect on kicks this year. Kick is on the way, and that will be good from 25 yards. 8 minutes to go. First quarter, Lobos take their opening drive and get 3 out of it. The Aggies will have the ball when we come back. New Mexico leads New Mexico State 3-0. Lobos go 78 yards in 12 plays. It took them 6:21 to get a Luke Drizwicki field goal. Dorian Lewis was big on that drive, partner. He had 2 carries, 26 yards. They spread it around. Dylan Hopkins 2 for 4 for 39. The drive stalls inside the 10. The Lobos get a field goal.
Yeah, really nice drive there by the UNM offense. You really get an opportunity to see the balance that they bring. They're able to move the ball not only in between the tackles, but also move the ball down the field with Hopkins' arms. So really nice drive, but New Mexico State does a good job, makes a stand at the goal line there. We got a 3-0 ball game, partner.
Ball is taken just inside the 5, all the way out to a 20. A late flag will come in. Jonathan Brady on the return for New Mexico State. These tend to be holdings on the, or some sort of illegal block on the kicking team. And so the Aggies most likely are going to back this thing up and start it at the 10. So let's see what the Aggies can do now. Diego Pavia comes in.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Half the distance to the goal. First down to Mexico State.
Jonathan Noli, he's your official today, your lead official, the white hat. So Diego Pavia, last week, 12 of 22. He threw an interception, a touchdown, 150 yards. 6 touchdowns coming in, 4 interceptions. It'll be interesting to watch this young man now. Emotion's a big part of this game, almost as much as anything, right, in a rivalry game?
Yeah, and he plays with a lot of emotion, right? He's an incredibly fiery quarterback, and so let's see if UNM is able to bring some pressure, or does Pavia hang under that pressure?
Right away, they hand it off up the middle, and it is stopped immediately. The handoff goes to Jamani Jones. Tavian Combs was in on the tackle. Tavian Combs did not play last week. He plays the Lobo position for New Mexico. Sat out last week with an ankle injury. Coaches said he could have played if he had to. They wanted to rest him because he is so vital. Gain of 3 on the play for Jones.
Yeah, and a big key tonight is going to be for New Mexico State to identify the blitz early on, pre-snap reads, and keep the pressure away from Pavia.
Fake to Watkins. Pavia throws to the left side and overthrows his receiver, Jonathan Brady, just off of the hands of Brady, the 6-foot sophomore running an out route. It'll be 3rd down and 8 for the Aggies.
Yeah, and this New Mexico State team is also a team that has a very balanced offense. 217 yards on the ground per game, roughly 275 through the air. And so staying balanced tonight is going to be a critical part of this offensive game plan.
One back behind, or on the right hip now of Diego Pavia. That'll be Jamani Jones. 2 left, 2 right for the senior from Albuquerque. Actually a junior with the COVID year. Diego to throw. Pressured. Over the middle, and it is knocked away. Terrific play by Zach Morris coming in defensively to knock the ball away from Cordell David. The Aggies are going to have to punt.
Yeah, and big Tyler Keeney, number 90 down there, the Los Lunas high school product, making plays, putting pressure on Pavia. You think him and Pavia have gone at it?
Twice, maybe
yeah,
even
I
3
think
times.
so. There could be some history there.
Zach Haynes is the punter for New Mexico State, averaging 43 yards a punt. Long this year is 54. Luke Wysong back at the New Mexico 40 to receive it. A low line drive. Wysong takes it at the 40, gets away from one dude across the 50 to the 45 and dropped at the 43. There is a flag all the way back by the punter.
Looks like a running into the kicker variety, partner.
Now it's 4th down and 7. If it's running into, it'll be 5 yards. If it's roughing, it'll be a 1st down. So let's see what they call. I think either way, New Mexico State would like to do this again, don't you?
Yeah, you got to feel that way.
Defense number 93, 5-yard penalty, replay 4th down.
So the penalty's on Destin Gaynor running into the kicker. This will make it 4th down because you got to make those big guys run down and cover it again.
I think so. I would say that's a fair bet here. UNM is coming out in a safe punt formation. They've got their defense back out there. So that is one of those scenarios where you have to have some situational awareness as to what's going on around you and where you are in the football game.
Once they get it sorted out, well, I'll tell you what, we'll go to break and we'll come back and tell you how they sorted it out. Lobos have the ball, 7:02 to go. First quarter, New Mexico leads New Mexico State 3-0 here in Albuquerque.
Or at the top of the play as well.
All right, Lobos go at the 21. Bill alongside Hopkins. Fake to him. Dylan looking and has a lot of time. A lot of time. Rolls right, throws right, and it is incomplete. Looking on the far side for Jeremiah Hickson. That's a whole lot of time by that offensive line, partner. You're looking for a call on that far side? Is that what you're looking for?
I don't know if that may have been Coach Keel over there on the sideline.
Well, there is someone down at that far sideline. And I see Coach Keel up. So it might have been him that got knocked down. Now, Jerry Kill did miss some practice this week. You've probably read that he was under the weather, missed some practice. They're wiping his face on the far sideline. And a lot of concern. It went really quiet over there. But it was Jerry Kill that got run. And I don't know if we got a replay on that, guys. Looks like he had a bloody nose. There's Jerry Kill, and he's barking at the official. He's got, it looks like a cotton swab in one nostril, and he's barking at the official and very active. All right, so it'll be 2nd down and 10 for New Mexico at the 21. Krosky Merrick is the back. Hickson wide right. Fake to Bill. Look, throw, and through the hands of Hickson. Just a little high and a little bit behind Jeremiah.
Yeah, and one thing I'm noticing here, partner, what UNM's doing, they're only sending two to three guys out on a route at a time, which again means they're max protecting. Krosky Merritt is stepping down and picking up someone coming from the edge, so they must have saw something that first series that has made them move to a max protect scheme.
Well, I mean, they did. There was one sack in the red zone, right, and there were a couple of pressures. 2 wides left, 2 wides right on 3rd down and 10 for Dylan Hopkins. Lobos need the 31.
State's bringing pressure.
Dylan gets away from it, tucks it, and runs. Hopkins got a lot of room and slides down at the 40-yard line. He'll call it the 38. It'll be a gain of 16 and a first down for New Mexico.
Man, what a veteran move. That is just poise in the pocket. Hopkins gets a little pressure in his face. He's able to sidestep it, sees a wide open field, and takes off for a first down.
And they teach you go up in the pocket, right? And that's where, if pressure's coming from the outside, a veteran quarterback is taught, well, their young quarterbacks are taught it. The veterans know it. Find out where the room's going to be. The daylight's going to be up the middle.
Yeah, and we don't see Hopkins run the ball that much, but he's got some legs on him now.
First down for the Lobos. Bill up the middle, out to the 45-yard line, brought down there by a pair of Aggies. Noah Arinze was one of them. Gain of 8, 2nd down and 2 for New Mexico. They're moving the football. This was going to be really one of the biggest questions, right, for this Lobo offense that has been at the bottom of the statistics in FBS over the last 2 years. Bringing Bryant Vincent, new offensive coordinator. They've got weapons. They feel like it's completely different. This is really going to be a big test to see how different they are, and so far, quite different, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, so far so good, partner. And Coach Vincent talked a lot about that yesterday. This is the 3rd or 4th school he's been to where he's had to rebuild an offense, and this is what he does. It's his specialty. He has a great feel for it, and when you've got a quarterback who's played for you for 3 years, that's a really nice to have.
Sherrod White, 4 yards and a first down. Keyshawn Elliott brought him down right about the 50-yard line. And again, I'll mention this throughout the game because I know people are coming and going. You're going to see different names on the Lobo jerseys than the names we call. And the Lobos are honoring special needs children around the Albuquerque area this week, representing these boys and girls around the area. Those kids are going to get these jerseys after the game, and it's really kind of cool that the Lobos and Danny Gonzalez are doing this. White, again, the running back. Hopkins straight drop, looks, throws right side, and it is caught. Is it complete? Out of bounds. That was Luke Wysong. Ball was just a little bit high and wide.
It was, and partner, I'll tell you, we've already seen 3 of the running backs in this UNM stable tonight. We've seen Dorian Lewis, we've seen Sherrod White, and we've obviously seen Bill back there. And so they're doing quite a bit to mix it up and not giving anyone too many carries and lighten that load a little bit.
Well, fans just saw a replay, and Danny Gonzalez is thinking about throwing the challenge. They felt that Luke Wysong got his foot down. No challenge yet. We're down to 8 on the play clock. Danny Gonzalez is speaking to the side judge. Let's see if he throws the flag or calls a timeout. And there is a timeout.
Got to give him a little time to review that upstairs.
So there is a challenge. Let's see what we got on this. We're looking to see if Wysong got a foot down. All right, so it was a pass to the right side looking for Wysong. And again, they're showing the in-stadium replay. It looks like he did get a foot down. We're going to go to break while they figure it out. We'll get you the answer, the verdict, when we come back. 4:36 to go, first quarter here in Albuquerque. New Mexico leads New Mexico State 3-0. Nice, really nice ceremony in between during that timeout. Former Lobo Terrence Mathis, who's going into the College Football Hall of Fame, was honored with his Hall of Fame plaque, the first college football player ever with 200 receptions, 4,000 receiving yards, and 6,000 all-purpose yards. And he's going into the Hall of Fame, and they'll have the induction coming up in December. Meanwhile, there is a completion to Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt out of the backfield. Dylan Hopkins with the completion. It goes all the way down to the 19-yard line. A gain of 31 for the Lobos coming out of the timeout.
What an absolute dime. I mean, I told you this, partner, if he has a good game tonight, he's going to D-Hop for me. But, I mean, what an incredible throw. UNM offensive line does a nice job protecting up front. And then you've got old Bill sneaking out of the backfield. No one covered him up. That's someone you're going to want to keep tabs on. Gets out there for a nice catch. Shows his versatility as well. Not only can he tote the rock, but he can also catch it out of the backfield.
First down for the Lobos. We're at the 19. Sherrod White gets the handoff off the right side, breaks a tackle, breaks 3 more, breaks 4 more. The ball's out, and it is loose and is recovered by New Mexico State. So fighting for extra yards, the ball came out, and Dylan Early jumped on it for the Aggies. First turnover of the game, and it goes to New Mexico State.
What a play from New Mexico State. They needed something because this UNM offensive line has just been leaning on them this entire drive.
1, I'm counting the tackles, 2, 3, 4, 5, and couldn't see who came in. It looked like it was number 13 who came in to knock the ball loose for the Aggies.
Rouser.
That was Miles Rouser, who was their leading tackler on that first series. A guy they don't even list on the depth chart, but he's had a big impact so far.
He's playing lights out, man. I mean, he's coming up from that free safety spot, and he's making some absolute plays tonight. He's going to need to, and he's going to need to be a big piece of this New Mexico State defense, and there he is making a big play down in the red zone.
And then Early jumps on the football, so the Aggies have it at their own 11. Diego Pavia fakes to Star Thomas, looks and throws it over the middle. It is knocked away there by Dante Martin, the guy that the Lobo coaches called the best cornerback in this league. He's certainly one of them.
Yeah, I mean, this guy doesn't really have the ball thrown to him that often, and there you see the first ball that comes to him in this game is almost picked for 6. I'm surprised Martin didn't have that.
Well, we did the game, you and I, last week when the Lobo, and there's a flag on the play in the Aggie backfield, and it looks like it's going to be a hold on them. We did the game last week and almost never called his name.
Never. It was just a question of, are they ever going to throw the ball this guy's way? I mean, that was only what we talked about him, and I guess sometimes that's a good thing.
So the holding backs the Aggies up to the 6-yard line, where it's first down again for New Mexico State. Pavia just outside of his own goal line. That's Star Thomas off the left side with a little bit of room. Thomas running away from people and dragged down at the ankles by Tavian Combs, but not before he gets all the way out to the 21-yard line, a gain of 15. It'll be second and short for New Mexico State.
And Star Thomas is a ball player now. I mean, not only is he able to run the rock out of the backfield for this New Mexico State offense, but he also will split out. He does really well in open space, has caught quite a few balls this year as well, so it will be interesting to see how his role continues to develop in this offense tonight.
Aggies came in 8th in FBS football running the ball per play at 6.31 yards per rush. Came in 8th in the country. There's Thomas again, wrapped up in the backfield, gets away from a tackle, and then drags the pile for 2 yards. First down out to the 23. It'll be a first down for the Aggies. He's a big, strong back, goes 6 feet 225. Low center of gravity is the sophomore from Homer, Louisiana, went to Coffeyville Community College, and he's limping off the field a little bit, which is a big concern for them. Now, they've got good backs. Amonte Watkins is their speed guy. They like Jamani Jones a lot, too.
Bit of a three-headed monster back there.
Hand off on a sweep, and it looks like he wants to throw it. Knocked out, and the ball is, I think, went out of bounds. It's going to probably stay with New Mexico State. It went on the jet sweep to Eli Stowers. Stowers is their backup quarterback, but they love to get him in because he's such a playmaker. Pavia's their guy, but they like getting the ball to this young man who transferred from Texas A&M.
Yeah, he's incredibly athletic, and he just gives them a different element, right? And you can see there that sometimes him and Pavia will be on the field at the same time like they were there.
In pursuit is that Tavian Combs, who came and knocked the ball out for New Mexico, but the ball went out of bounds. So it's second down and 13. It's a loss. Well, it's not really a loss of 3, is it? Looks like it's
It's number 7.
That's an interesting
Threw
call.
the ball forward with no eligible receiver in the area. The penalty is a loss of down at the spot of the foul. It'll be second down.
Really interesting call. So they're saying he tried to throw it instead of Tavian Combs knocking it out of his hand.
Yeah, to me it looked like Combs came through with a swipe to get that, to jar that ball loose. But yeah, one of the more interesting intentional grounding calls I've ever seen.
Yeah, they're going to take a look and see really how that ball got fumbled forward. I don't know that it matters other than the spot, right? Because either way it's going to be second down. But it probably matters because of the spot. Take a look at it. This is a great view. Was he trying to throw it? I mean, even if he was trying to throw it, it got knocked out of his hands before he threw it, right?
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, it almost looked like he was trying to clutch the football again, and so I don't see an act of throwing the football. And again, it looks like Tavian Combs comes around and swipes and knocks that ball out of his hands, and I think that's why he's not able to corral it, right, because it gets swiped away out of his hands.
Jeff Sabieta, George Carter, we're at University Stadium here in Albuquerque on an absolutely perfect late summer evening for football. The wind is blowing straight down. That means there is none. The flags are pointed straight down. It's about 78 degrees, and it's ideal. Good buzz in the tailgate lots. There's traffic getting in here today. It's a good buzz for this rivalry that's 113 games old. New Mexico leads the series. 73 wins for New Mexico, 43 wins for New Mexico State. They've had 3 ties. And last year, partner, it was a big day for New Mexico State. Diego Pavia didn't even play in that game. Aggies won 21-9 down in Las Cruces, and it kind of turned their season around. Boy, that looks like it got knocked out of his hand, didn't it?
Definitely.
But that was a big win for the Aggies, and I know it didn't sit well for Lobo fan.
The ball was knocked out of the runner's hand. Therefore, it's a fumble forward out of bounds. By rule, the ball returns to the spot of the fumble at the 18-yard line. It's still second down.
So really, it's exactly the same thing it would have been if it was intentional grounding, right? Because they go back to where he fumbled it. That's where they would have placed the ball anyway. It's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, and what that means is second down and about 13 for the Aggies. Head coach Danny Gonzalez in his 4th year, he played in this series. He's from Albuquerque Valley High School, played for the Lobos, head coach of his hometown team. It means a whole lot to him, and he lets everybody know about it. Diego Pavia is the quarterback. This is his hometown as well. Played at Volcano Vista High School, now playing down in Las Cruces. The give is to Watkins. He's their speed guy, gets pushed out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. Jamarius Lewis got pushed him out of bounds. Lewis getting the start at the left Wolf safety position today because Christian Ellis is not eligible in the first half. Ellis, you'll see in the second half, wearing 22, got a targeting penalty in the second half last week against Tennessee Tech. So he is not able to play in the first half, but he will be able to play the second half. Lewis gets to start. 3rd down and 7, the Aggies need the 33. Pavia with 3 wides to the left. Drops straight back and is pressured. Gets away. Pavia scrambling, throws across his body and across the field, and it is complete and loose across the 50-yard line. A gutsy play and a big play by Diego Pavia, finding his wide receiver. That is Trent Hudson. First catch of the game for Hudson, and a big play for New Mexico State.
And partner, as a quarterback, that's something that you're told never to do, to throw all the way across your body, all the way across the field. I mean, that's about a 30-yard pass all the way across the field, but Pavia gets it done. He always finds the open receiver, and that's what you have to love about this quarterback, his grit.
He's special in that way, right? He does a lot of the things you tell him not to do. That's Star Thomas up the middle. Thomas dragged down by the ankles by Tavian Combs after a gain of 6. Pavia does things unorthodox. He's a guy who runs over defenders,
right,
where other quarterbacks you're told to get down. And I asked him about this a few weeks ago on my show, and he says, that's just who I am.
Yeah.
I said, do the coaches tell you to slide? He's like, that's how I play football, right? and he's just a different cat, and so far he's been very successful.
Yeah, there's a bit of improv to the way that he plays, right? I mean, and sometimes as a coach that probably makes you pull your hair out, but again, to your point, partner, that's what really makes him special. 2
backs, one on either hip of Pavia. He fakes it to Thomas and throws complete. A short gain, but for a first down, he gets about 7 yards. The completion is to number 12, Jordan Smith. First catch of the game for Jordan Smith, and the Aggies are moving, and they're going to have the ball when we come back to start the second quarter. On first down on the other side of the field. It'll be first down at the 33-yard line. Aggies driving. First quarter's in the books. The rivalry of enchantment, the Rio Grande Rivalry, the Battle of I-25, whatever you want to call it. It's a fun one here in Albuquerque. Second quarter when we come back. Lobos second quarter underway, or just about to be, here in Albuquerque. New Mexico State driving, trailing New Mexico 3-0. First down for the Aggies at the 33-yard line. This drive started on a New Mexico fumble in the red zone. Diego Pavia is the quarterback. Young man from Albuquerque's Volcano Vista High School, won a national junior college championship playing for New Mexico Military Institute just a couple of years ago. Hands it to Star Thomas off the right side, gets some room out to the 30-yard line where he's greeted by a pack of Lobos. Looked like Alec Marenko at the bottom of that pile, gain of 4, and a second down and 6. Aggies move the ball, and sometimes they're going to play like that. 4 yards on first down, you'll take it. Again, they average 6.3 plus yards per carry, which coming into the weekend was 8th in FBS football.
Yeah, and they've got 3 bell cows back there, right? So they are keeping those guys fresh, their legs underneath them. And I'll tell you what, partner, this New Mexico State offensive line is starting to get a nice push, moving that line of scrimmage back on this UNM defense.
They fake the sweep. Pavia floats it complete. He's got a receiver at the 10, pushed out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. Another big gain for the Aggies. That goes to the tight end, Ron Tiavasue.
And not too sure what happened there, but that looked like Tavian Combs' guy. I think he got caught looking in the backfield a bit, checking to see what Pavia was doing, and he let his guy go. You shouldn't have tight ends running down the middle of the field that wide open. So it sounds like there was a breakdown in coverage or some sort of assignment error that led to that catch.
Well, a whole lot of eye candy on that one as Kenny Gonzalez calls trying to get dirty eyes. Pavia goes under center. First time he's been under center tonight. 2 backs, Thomas the tailback. Gives it to Star Thomas off the right side, and he walks into the end zone for a New Mexico State touchdown. Star Thomas walks in from 2 yards out. 3rd rushing touchdown of the season for the sophomore from Homer, Louisiana, and the Aggies have a 6-3 lead pending the extra point.
Yeah, and I think they found something off this right side. They continue to run the ball off tackle to the right. They are getting a lot of push up front, and UNM just can't do anything to stop them right now. That was a fantastic drive from New Mexico State.
Ethan Albertson's extra point is on the way, and it is good. The Aggies have the lead by a score of 7-3. Early on, second quarter, there's 13:32 to go in the rivalry of enchantment. Lobos will get the ball when we get back. New Mexico State leads New Mexico 7-3 here in Albuquerque.
Yeah, and again, partner, they just continue to collapse that right side. They're running behind those big fellas up there. Get a nice little lead blocker in there. Jamani Jones doing things, cleaning up the pile. You gotta love to see that. And when New Mexico State comes out in that 20 personnel, that means 2 running backs, 0 tight ends. You know you're going to get a run play.
Louis Canepa, the right tackle. AJ Vaipulo, the right guard, clearing the way. And Lobos will touch that thing back in the end zone and start at the 25-yard line. Lobos have moved the ball. They've had 2 drives. First one went down the field. They settled for a field goal. Second time they had the ball, drove it down the field, fumbled inside the 10-yard line. Dylan Early jumped on it for New Mexico State. Lobos have put up 141 yards of total offense in their 2 drives. They have 3 points to show for it. They're now playing from behind as the Aggies have jumped out to the 7-3 lead. So Dylan Hopkins will come out there. He'll bring Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt with him. Hopkins, early in the game, 3 for 8, 70 yards for the reigning Mountain West Conference Offensive Player of the Week. Senior grad transfer from UAB. State champion in high school, bowl champion, won the Bahamas Bowl last year. Fakes to Krosky-Merritt and throws, and it is complete. Out on the right side and dancing for a first down, all the way out to about the 43-yard line. Jeremiah Hickson, who didn't play last week, that's his first catch of the day.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how they use Hickson tonight. Is he going to get all the full burn? He's got a broken bone in his wrist, so it'll be interesting to see how he's able to catch the football and how well he can catch the football. Right there, he looked just fine.
Hickson, the transfer from Alabama State. There's 3 Alabama State transfers. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is one of them, Hickson, and the big lineman, Tito Stafford, and they've all come in and made an immediate impact for New Mexico. This is one of them. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, and he is buried in the backfield, not fooled at all. And this young man's having a day. Keyshawn Elliott was there again, along with Dion Wilson in the backfield to drop Bill for a 3-yard loss. It'll be second down and 13.
Yeah, and Dion Wilson's actually been wreaking havoc this entire game. He's been doing a great job of getting penetration up the field. And so UNM's going to have to do some things to shore up the offensive line, because right now there are a few cracks that are beginning to emerge.
Second down, 13 for New Mexico. We'll look over and change the play. Lobos wearing a red, white, and blue stripe to honor the 9/11. Down the middle of their helmets with the old school Lobo logo. Hopkins going deep over the middle. It is caught. First down and a whole lot more to Luke Wysong, all the way down to the 23-yard line. Biggest play of the night for New Mexico.
Yeah, and Wysong is really beginning to emerge as a receiver.
Yeah, but he's come off the field. It looks like he's holding his arm. I don't know if it's an arm or shoulder, but he went straight to the bench. Looks like his left wrist is what he's holding. Big play.
Really nice play.
Officially 41 yards. Hopkins to Wysong, and Luke's going into the red tent. First down for the Lobos. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt with a hole on the left side. Bill gets loose to the outside. Krosky-Merritt to the 5, dragged out of bounds at the 3-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there by Dylan Early. It'll be first down, New Mexico, after a gain of 25.
And I'll tell you what, Jeff, he just runs with bad intentions. You see that there? I mean, he took that rock and just went upfield, was able to get upfield really quickly, and then boom, that burst of speed. As soon as he gets through the hole, he's not going to be tackled with arm tackles. You're going to have to bring the house if you want to bring this young fella down.
Big block by the tight end Trace Buckler there on the outside. So it's first down for the Lobos. They've got to call it the 4-yard line. Trailing 7-3 and trying to answer. Krosky-Merritt, right side, pushing the pile, down to about the 1 where he stretched it out. It'll be second down and goal for the Lobos. And he's not big, but that's a pretty powerful run for that young man.
Yeah, you know, again, he's listed at 5'1", 205 pounds, but I mean, to me, man, he looks like he stands a little bit closer to 6 foot. He's a big fella now. He's an impressive young man.
Yeah, I said this last week, but that was the young man, when you go out to practice, you're out at spring practice, and you go out and you see it and you go, whoa, who's that guy, right? Who's that number 5 running around? Dorian Lewis is the running back now, and they change quarterback. Holiday's the quarterback. Holiday keeps it. Holiday scores in New Mexico. Nope. Yes, he does. The far sideline judge had his hand in the air to mark it, and the near side judge came in with 2 hands in the air. So one guy called it a touchdown. One guy said he was down, and the guy on the far side's going to overrule, and so Justin Holiday is just short of scoring a touchdown. How about running Justin Holiday out in that formation?
Yeah, I like that. I mean, a little bit of a changeup now. I kept looking down there, so that's not DC, that's not Devin. Who is that? Justin Holiday comes in to get a little pay dirt, but they took it off the board.
All right, so it's 3rd down and goal. Hopkins back in at quarterback. They're going to bring Bill, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merrick, number 5, back in at tailback. Bill's got 4 touchdowns on the season. 3rd down goal. Lobos trail 7-3, and now we've got Danny Gonzalez running down the sideline.
Timeout on the field.
So there was a whole lot going on there. Lobos thought they scored a touchdown. In fact, the referee on the near side came in with 2 hands in the air. Touchdown. The judge on the far side marked it down, and it'll be 3rd down and goal when we come back. After his 41-yard catch has been taken inside, he went to the tent holding his left wrist. Hopkins gives it to Ja'Cory Krosky-Merrick. Touchdown, New Mexico. Bill from a yard out, 5th rushing touchdown of the season, and the Lobos have retaken the lead.
Really nice answer from this Lobo offense.
Ja'Cory Krosky-Merrick, the Lobos' leading rusher. 9 carries, 46 yards for the young man they call Bill, and the Lobos have retaken the lead. That's a heck of an answer by the New Mexico offense, partner.
Big time answer.
Luke Drizwicki is on for the extra point. It is perfect. He is 10 for 10 on the season, and at the 9:01 mark, the Lobos are back up 10-7. That's a big answer. Now, New Mexico's offense has moved up and down the field. They only have 10 points to show for it in 3 possessions. First possession, they got a field goal. Second one, they fumbled. But 216 yards out of a New Mexico offense with 9+ minutes to go in the second quarter. Isn't something we've seen around here in the last few years.
Yeah, partner. I mean, this New Mexico State defense is beginning to have a bit of a difficult time slowing this New Mexico offense down. But the New Mexico offense is doing a great job of executing at a really high level. I mean, 41-yard passes down the field. It's been a long time since the University of New Mexico fans have seen an offense that is that dynamic and can open up a defense in that way. So excited to see this offense continue to mature throughout the season and continue to click together.
They went 7 plays, 75 yards in 4 minutes and 31 seconds. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merrick with the 1-yard run to cash the check for the Lobos, and now it's going to be the New Mexico State offense. Back to receive for New Mexico State, Jonathan Brady, and it looks like Star Thomas is back there as well. Drizwicki kicks it towards Brady, and he'll let it go into the end zone for a touchback, and the Aggies will be more than content to take the ball and start at the 25-yard line. So New Mexico State has moved it as well. 97 yards of total offense for them. Diego Pavia has thrown for 34. They've run for 63. They run the ball well, partner. That's just what they do. And they had a nice drive. They went 88 yards their last time they had the ball. Ate up 5.5 minutes of clock or thereabouts. And Diego Pavia will bring them back out.
Yeah, partner, we're seeing the different phases of this game play out, right? I mean, your first phase is generally the filling out process. That's what's happening in the first quarter. In the second quarter, you begin to settle into your game plan, right? And so I expect some big things in the second quarter from both of these programs.
Pavia fakes to Watkins. Now he's flushed out of the pocket, running away, throws it to the right side, and it is caught on a comeback. A terrific comeback route there by Cordell David. Good patience by Diego, and another unorthodox off-schedule play by the young man from Albuquerque.
Yeah, just his ability to keep plays alive, right? I mean, generally what New Mexico State has seen at the onset of this season is when the pocket begins to collapse, he somewhat disappears in there. But tonight he's doing a really nice job of getting outside of the edges. Haven't seen New Mexico State move the pocket too much, but they're doing a really good job, and Pavia is doing a really good job of keeping plays alive and finding his guys in space.
19 yards and a first down for Diego. Lobos are showing like they're coming. Pavia keeps it on a quarterback draw, breaks a tackle, breaks another one, and now Diego's loose. Chased and pushed out of bounds at the 32-yard line, where he is finally run out of bounds by Aaron Smith, but another big gain by by that big player.
Yeah, and when they get his legs going, that's when they get real dynamic. There is a triple option wrinkle to this offense that you don't see that often, but if they can get Pavia going, they will bring 2 running backs into the game and start hitting you with a little bit of triple option.
Diego Pavia, 26 yards on that. That's his longest run of the season. It was 19 coming in. Another big chunk, and it's a first down for the Aggies at the 30. Look at this full house backfield now.
Go.
Eli Stowers is the quarterback with that triple option look. It's Pavia. Pavia is running the option. Pavia keeps it. Pavia gets knocked by Dimitri Johnson. First hit, and then a bunch of guys are there running the football, but a gain of 3. Normally when they go to that triple look, they bring Stowers in,
right,
but they kept Pavia on that, and he ran it and got 3 yards.
Yeah, and as you see there, partner, I mean, if you're Dimitri Johnson, you've got to wrap up. This is Division I football. Last week when you were playing those other guys from Tennessee Tech, you could just hit them with the shoulder. But this is Division I football, and these young men live the same way that you do. So you need to bring the house and wrap up.
Johnson with the initial hit. Ray Leotele finished him off for New Mexico. 2nd down and 7 for the Aggies. 10-7 New Mexico. Look at this formation. All kinds of tight. Pavia again right up the middle, gets a block and gets loose and gets a first down. Dragged down by Tavian Combs, but not before he gets 10 more yards, all the way down to the 17-yard line. It's Diego Pavia's world on this drive.
Yeah, and they're keeping it here, right? I mean, again, sticking with that 30 personnel. Actually, they just ran one of those running backs out, bringing another tight end in. But as you can see, there's quite a bit of counter work. And this New Mexico State offensive line is getting some push against this defensive front from New Mexico.
Well, there's big holes. There's a whole lot of room to run through. Jamani Jones and Star Thomas with Diego. Pavia keeps it, throws it, and just off the hands of his receiver Cordell David. A quick slant, and it got a little high and a little away from David, who got a hand on it. He falls incomplete, 2nd and 10. David's a big kid too, 6'3", 205. They got some length on their the receiving court as New Mexico State.
They do. And they've got some speed on the outside as well.
They do. And we haven't seen their fastest guy. I think Monte Watkins has touched the ball 1 time. He can just flat out go.
Yeah, he can move. Here's this 30 personnel again. They've got 3 running backs in the game.
Watkins to the right of Pavia. 2nd and 10. Lobos showing like they're coming. They give it to Watkins, and he is brought down by Dimitri Johnson. Gains about 3, so call it 3rd down and 7 for the Aggies. It'll be at the 14-yard line.
And when you play against a team that runs a triple option, you've got to be very disciplined because you have keys that you're reading specifically, and hopefully UNM spent quite a bit of time preparing for this week, but it's one of those things that's difficult to replicate if you don't do it all the time. But New Mexico State is getting in a nice rhythm, and they're seeming to work this. And again, they continue to work that right side of the offensive line.
Aggies 1 wide right, 1 left, full house backfield. Watkins, the tailback behind Diego Pavia. Jamani Jones on his right hip. Star Thomas on his left. Lobos have 4 up front. They give it to Thomas. Thomas has some room, but Tavian Combs closed it off. Tavian Combs, Dimitri Johnson were there, and now Jerry Kill's got a decision. It's 4th and about 2, and he's going to run the field goal unit out there to try to get even.
Yeah, good to see Tavian Combs back out here for that UNM defense. Missed the game last week, but he is the leader of this defense. Talked to Coach Reffick quite a bit about that yesterday. He brings a level of calmness
That's the word
to
he
this
used, right?
defensive unit.
He said a calming and precision and just leadership. Look at how that end zone is you're looking at over there on the north side, or on the north side, filled up with the students once they finally got out of the parking lot. field goal is on the way, and it is good by Ethan Albertson. And that ties it up. 4 minutes, 31 seconds to go in a rivalry game as the sun is setting on the sand dunes. 10-10 is the score here in Albuquerque. 4:31 to go in the second quarter. 66 yards and 8 plays. It took 4.5 minutes for the Aggies to culminate in an Ethan Albertson 27-yard field goal and tie it up. Lobos now do not have Luke Wysong to return kicks. Dorian Lewis is back for New Mexico, number 21, and they'll watch it. Well, he's going to take it out from a yard deep. Lewis across the 15 and the 20. Look at Dorian go. Dorian gets it across the 25-yard line where the Lobos will set up shop for their 4th series, tied at 10. New Mexico's moved the football, George. Jeff Sibieta, along with George Carter, we're at University Stadium here in Albuquerque. The 113th meeting between the Lobos and Aggies in football. And we got a 10-10 game just like it's supposed to be, is what I'm told. Lobos moved the football, partner. The first time they went down the field, got a field goal. They turned it over in the red zone the second time, scored a touchdown on their third. 216 yards of offense for New Mexico, 163 for New Mexico State. We're seeing the ball move up and down this field here at University Stadium.
That we are. I mean, didn't necessarily expect that. Thought we were going to come in here and see a bit of a defensive stalemate, but boy, these offenses are playing tonight, and I'm here for it, man. I am here for it.
Krosky, Merrick, and there is that man again, Keyshawn Elliott, who's having a day. Buda Paletti was the first guy through with the first hit. Bill got away, and Keyshawn Elliott broke through again, and he is having a heck of a day so far for the Aggies.
Yeah, he's balling. I think he's up somewhere already in the 6 to 7 tackle range of this game, but he just has a really good feel for it, and that's generally what you get with a defense like New Mexico State. They've got a 4-3. They sometimes walk down a defensive end, but they generally try to push everything to their linebackers. Their linebackers somewhat, they tend to become tackling machines.
And they are.
Right? And we're seeing that tonight.
2nd down, 11 for the Lobos. Hopkins, quick flip right side. It is caught by Hickson. Shakes a tackle, shakes another one. Brought down hard at the 30-yard line by Gabe Peterson. The gain of about 5. It'll be 3rd down and 6 for New Mexico and a flag in the backfield.
Yeah, and good to see Hickson out there again, man. I mean, you can just see his explosiveness as well. He's also another one of these guys who just moves incredibly well with the ball in his hand, and he's a yards after catch guy, right? The old yak.
Illegal block in the back, offense number 11. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 2nd down.
Andrew Erickson, the guilty party, illegal block in the back, so we race that 5-yard gain to Jeremiah Hickson. Back the Lobos up. It stays 2nd down, but it'll be 2nd down and a whole lot with 3 minutes and 26 seconds to go and the clock moving here in a 10-10 ball game. We're in the second quarter.
And this is exactly what New Mexico State likes to do to you, right? They like to get you behind the chains, and once they get you behind the chains, they pin their ears back and they bring pressure.
2nd and 21 for New Mexico. One wide right, one wide left. Hopkins straight back, look out from behind, lofts it down the near side to Erickson. It is overthrown and incomplete. BJ Schoolark covering for the Aggies, and it'll be 3rd and 21. Partner, I have not seen the student section in a New Mexico football game like this in a long time. They moved the students over into this north end zone, and it's bad. They finally got them out of the parking lot, by the way. The party's over the parking lot. It was a heck of a rager they were having. But that north end zone looks nice where that student section is. They care about this game. They care about this football team. It's a big day for Lobo football.
It really is, man. And you bring up a good point, Jeff. I mean, since they've moved the student section over there to the north side, haven't seen it fill up like that, right? And so a lot of folks in this town that were really excited for this matchup this week.
3rd and 21 for Dylan Hopkins. Drops straight back, throws across the middle and incomplete. Almost intercepted. He overthrew Ryan Davis, who was on the deep slant, and the Lobos are going to have to kick it away for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and this is probably the most inaccurate I've seen Hopkins start a football game. Although he's making some plays, he generally is a bit more efficient than this, and I don't know if it's the pressure. I don't know if he's just having a hard time locking in his timing with his receivers. But outside of that pass to Wysong down there, he hasn't been able to get in the rhythm that we've generally seen in these first 2 games.
Jordan Smith to receive the punt from Aaron Rodriguez. The Lobo punter will have his heels on his goal line. Does get away, a wobbly, low, short kick, takes a UNM bounce, and Jordan jumps on it. It looked like he almost bobbled it, a dangerous play, but Jordan Smith was able to corral it, and the Aggies will have it first down when we come back. There's 2:49 to go. We are in the second quarter here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and New Mexico State tied at 10 apiece. New Mexico State will have the ball. Their quarterback, Diego Pavia, leading them in rushing with 39 yards and has thrown the ball 4 of 7 for 82. Aggie offense with the ball. 10-10 is our score here in Albuquerque. Star Thomas, the back behind him. He's got 2 receivers to the right. Diego keeps it on the play fake. Harass, spins, cannot get away from, well, he does get away from Dimitri Johnson and throws the ball away. It looked like Johnson got him from the ankles and he was going bound, but they're marking it.
Foul for intentional grounding. Number 14 was in the area.
They did not call intentional grounding. 14 was in the area, so that's another play by this young man just to get rid of it and avoid the loss. He's different, George. He's just so unorthodox. Everything that you coach him not to do, he kind of does, and he gets away with it sometimes.
He really does, and that's all instinct, right? I mean, he's just a ball player, man. I mean, that's what you got to love about him. He just goes out there and plays.
He's just a terrific baller, a tough kid. And Aggie fans have come to love him, and they should. He became a legend last year. Rolls away again, and Diego's going to put it away and run, go out of bounds at the 44-yard line, maybe the 45. A gain of about 7, maybe call it 6. It'll be third down for the Aggies. Take a look at the rushing yards for New Mexico and New Mexico State. The Lobos have had the ball more. The biggest play of the game was the turnover. Dylan Early falling on it for New Mexico State. And as the Lobos were in the red zone, looked like they were ready to score. Third down now for the Lobo defense, the Aggie offense, as we hit 2 minutes to go. Huge play right now. Aggies need the 47-yard line. Star Thomas is the running back. Pavia rolls the pocket. Looks back left and he's chased, and now he's got room. Pavia's going to run for the first down. Pavia crosses the 50-yard line and gets chased out of bounds. First down, New Mexico State. 8 yards on the play, and the Aggies will keep the football.
Yeah, and his legs are causing UNM a considerable problem.
That's what he does.
He's able to get outside of the pocket and just make plays. And I mean, again, just to keep talking about this kid, man, you don't win wrestling state championships, high school state championships,
junior college national
championships if you're just a regular guy, right? And so, yeah, man, I mean, I love watching this kid play. He has that force multiplier effect, right, where he makes everyone else around him better and elevates their play.
Listen to you, a Lobo, talking about an Aggie like that. That doesn't happen a lot, huh? He must be really good. Pavia to throw. Flushed again. Now where's he going to go? Nowhere this time. Marenko and Dimitri Johnson are able to corral him just as he gets over the line of scrimmage. 1 yard on the game for Diego Pavia. Not very often you Lobos give a bunch of praise to an Aggie now.
Pains me to say that, but you know, there's also another really small brotherhood, right, that has formed, and it's guys who have earned the opportunity to play at the next level from the city of Albuquerque,
and you guys
there
who
aren't
played
many of that.
Yeah,
there aren't many guys like that, and so when you see them and they go out there and they're balling, I've got love for those guys, although they're playing for my arch nemesis.
Game respects game, and you had it, George. And you guys who played high school football here in Albuquerque and had all this success, you are a tight fraternity, and I love that you respect each other. Stowers is in now, a quarterback, flips it over the middle, and it is caught. And still running is the big tight end, Tomas Whitford. He got through the initial hit, bounced himself for another 8 yards, and a first down out to the 31. Stowers to Whitford, the first time that combination is hooked up today. And as we tick under a minute, it's first down at the 31 for the Aggies.
And I'll tell you what, Coach Reffitt's going to have an earful for these guys on Wednesday or on Monday when they get back in there and watch them film. This tackling, these throwing the shoulder in, right? I mean, good effort, but that's just not how you tackle, young man. You got to wrap these fellas up.
Pavia back in and going deep. He wants it all and has a man, and he's got a touchdown, New Mexico State. Diego Pavia to Jonathan Brady, 31 yards, and the Aggies have the lead.
What an absolute dime by Pavia. And I mean, 5 Jamarius Lewis was just getting, he got ran away from. And again, either some sort of coverage breakdown or he just got beat off the line of scrimmage.
Diego Pavia in the pocket and has got into a groove. Look, the young man told us 3 weeks ago, that he was looking forward to this game. He said, I got a chip on my shoulder, and that's one that they had circled, and Pavia's putting on a show. Ethan Albertson on for the extra point with 41 seconds to go. It is good, and the Aggies have taken a 17-10 lead. Pavia to Jonathan Brady. Second touchdown catch of the year for Brady. Take a look. It's a lot of time, huh?
Ton of time in the pocket. And yeah, Jamarius Lewis, he just got run by. I mean, plain and simple, he got beat by a better football player on that play.
Jonathan Brady, who Lobo coaches told us this week. I mean, they got some speed, and they said they kind of identify him by numbers, and they said, well, and 6 has some speed.
Yeah, and big chunk plays, right? I mean, you look at the average of these receivers, their 4 top receivers, their average reception is over 15 yards, right? And so, again, these guys are able to open it up, move the football down the field, and a lot of these catches are run after the catch. But, man, they've got some receivers in the big play. That was huge.
226 yards of offense. They went 63 yards in 6 plays to the Aggies. It took them 2:08. Pavia to Brady. The Aggies are up 17-10. 41 seconds left. The Lobos have 1 timeout to play with. The Albertson kick is going to go over the head of Dorian Lewis into the end zone. So you're down 17-10. You got 1 timeout to go. Let's see what they try to do with Dylan Hopkins here.
Yeah, I think you try to move the football down the field, man. You got to go get some points, make this thing tight. New Mexico State gets the football at the start of the third quarter. So let's see what UNM is able to do here. But going back to that last drive, fantastic response from New Mexico State, right? UNM drives the football right down the field, gets in for pay dirt. What does New Mexico State do? The same exact thing.
2 wides left. 2 to the right. Dylan Hopkins has Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. Now they'll bring 1 in tight, so 1 wide left. Hopkins drops straight back. Airing it out and going deep. Throwing it into coverage. There's a lot of contact and no flag. Looking for Caleb Medford down there. Defended on the play by New Mexico State's Andre Selden. It'll be 2nd and 10. A whole lot of nothing.
Yeah. Yep, and they're starting to get a little chippy down there, partner, right? I mean, there's a little trash talking. You've got to expect that in a rivalry game.
Well, guys in white won last year down in Cruces. They're winning 17-10 with 33 seconds to go here in Albuquerque in the first half tonight. See what they do now. They took a shot. Do they take another one? No, they give it to Bill, and Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt's got some room. Give him 10 yards. It's going to stop the clock to move the sticks. 35-yard line and a first down for Bill, and a decision now for the offensive staff. Now you're clear. You're not going to run out of downs, so it feels like now maybe you do take a shot. The clock's running at 23. These are the new rules now. It stops to, well, this was the old rule. It stops to move the change. Under 20 seconds to go. Hopkins straight back. Forced out of the pocket and rolling to the left side and throws it away. That guy, Keyshawn Elliott, was chasing him again. He has been everywhere for New Mexico State tonight.
Yeah, and that time he was just sitting back there spying the quarterback, and as soon as Hopkins broke the pocket, he was right on him.
8 seconds, so this probably will be the final play of the first half. Lobos a long way from pay dirt. Deuce Jones checks in for New Mexico. He can fly. Kind of a prevent defense for New Mexico State, huh?
Yeah, we'll see if this is one of those just cock it back and throw it, young man. See what you can do.
See what happens, right? Hopkins, left side. That's caught by Deuce Jones. And that'll be it, huh? 2 seconds to go. They'll move the clock. Lobos will use their final timeout. So Deuce Jones' first catch of the night. He had 2 catches coming in. Had a long one last week.
Timeout in New Mexico.
So Lobos now maybe within range where Hopkins can just chuck it into the end zone, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to see a nice little Hail Mary play here to wrap up the first half. And what a first half it has been, partner. This thing has been as advertised,
well,
I've got to say.
Between the 2 teams, we got 501 yards of total offense. 225 for the Lobos, 226 for New Mexico State. Dylan Hopkins, 6 of 15 for the Lobos. 136 yards. Pavia on the other side, 5 of 19 for 113. But Diego's run for 54 yards. Leading rusher of the game is the Lobos' Ja'Cory Krosky-Merrick. So 3 deep safeties for the Aggies. You got one guy at the goal line and, well, 2 guys at the goal line, 3 guys at the goal line. Let's see what the Lobos try to devise here. They try to throw it up top, or do they try to get someone loose underneath and make some magic happen with 2 seconds to go here in the first half? Hopkins throws it deep. It is knocked away on a nice play there by Keontae Clinton, and that'll end the first half. So we're going to halftime of the rivalry enchantment. Been entertaining, hasn't it? Certainly if you're an Aggie fan. I think even if you're a Lobo fan, because this game has a whole lot of chapters to play out. Halftime here in Albuquerque. New Mexico trails New Mexico State 17-10. We're going to send it back to the studios of KOAT here in Albuquerque for halftime to get you up to date on everything that's going on, news and weather and sports. We'll be back for the second half here in Albuquerque. Jeff Sabieta and George Carter. Halftime score. Aggies lead the Lobos 17-10. It's a nice crowd here in Albuquerque for the Lobos and the Aggies. They were talking about maybe getting over 30,000. The north end zone looks great. The near side, the west stands full of Lobo fans. Bands are here, and we got a football game. Jeff Sabieta, George Carter. It is 17-10. New Mexico State on top of New Mexico as we start the second half. Jonathan Brady and Star Thomas to receive. That is Brady at the goal line for New Mexico State. Across the 15, across the 20, and out to the 25-yard line where he is finally dragged down. The Aggies will set up shop at the 25-yard line. Tackle made by David Murphy for New Mexico. Big series for the Lobo defense. They ended they weren't on the field at the end of the first half, but the Aggies were able to drive on them. Christian Ellis, number 22 on defense, will be able to play in the second half. That should be a big boost for UNM secondary.
Yeah, New Mexico State has all of the momentum in this football game right now, so this is a critical series for both of these teams at this aspect of the game.
Pavia sends man in motion and flips it to the near side. It is complete. That is Dante Martin making the stop immediately on Jonathan Brady. Brady gets 2 yards on the quick pass. They tried to get a little motion, a little eye candy, as Danny Gonzalez likes to call it, and Dante Martin was not fooled.
Yeah, and we're now moving into the next phase of the game, right, partner? Third quarter is generally where you execute. You've got a really good idea of what the other team is doing, and so now it's really just time to execute your game plan at a really high level. Fourth quarter, it's all about finishing. Who is going to be able to finish this football game? 3
wide rights for Diego Pavia. Keeps him out there. That's Jamani Jones off his left hip. Drops straight back. Now he chased and runs away to the left side. Pushed out of bounds. It's going to be a no gain. Pushed out of bounds there by big number 45 for New Mexico, Kyler Drake. Third down for the Aggie offense. Third down and 8.
And first time we've mentioned his name tonight. He hasn't really come out, but I think there's been a little bit of adjustment because I was watching Drake on that play, and he just kind of hung back and was spying Pavia. So it would be interesting to see if UNM made some adjustments at halftime to start to slow Pavia down a bit.
Troy Reffett, the defensive coordinator, says, I've been playing the Aggies for 20 years. Played at UTEP. They were rivals when he played. He's been at New Mexico State. They're rivals. Look out. Marenko's coming, and it is complete. Pavia is able to flip it out for a first down. A completion to Trent Hudson, who runs out to the 44-yard line, and a first down. There's a flag in the backfield. Hold on. 2 flags down back where Diego Pavia threw the football.
That's generally the realm of holding, and I did see the linebackers running the game. That's what you call the old ghost switch.
Personal foul. Chop block. Offense. Number 3 and number 54. 15-yard penalty in first half, the distance to the goal.
Jonathan Billy's your referee. I didn't catch the number, did you?
I did not catch the number on that. But it had to be over there on the left side of the... Oh, yeah.
Oh, they went high-low.
Yep.
Yeah, they went high, and you can't go high-low. If you're engaged high, you cannot if your teammates engaged high, you cannot engage low.
Exactly. And that time, Zaire Riley had someone at his legs, and then the offensive lineman came over and tried to clean him up.
So 3rd down and 25. They got to get out to the 35-yard line for a first down. Pavia's got 2 backs, 1 on either hip. 2 right, 1
blitz.
left. Lobos only send 3. Pavia still pressured. Now he gets away on the right side. He breaks a tackle and falls out to the 30-yard line. 18-yard gain, not enough for a first down. They needed to get out to the 35-yard line. They needed 23. But how about this? You give up 18 yards on 3rd and long, and it's not enough. Boy, he's magical, though, isn't he?
He really is, man. I mean, he just is willing this team to win. I mean, the nice little pump fake to the outside, buy himself a little bit of time. He scurries up the field for a nice 18-yard gain. This kid's a ball player now.
Jacob Godfrey is back to receive the punt with Luke Wysong out. He gets pushed out of the way. There is a flag, so that's going to be an interference call on New Mexico State. It looked like it was number 21 for New Mexico State. I believe that to be Josiah Charles. We'll see what the call is, but the Lobos are going to get good field position on this. It's going to be interesting to see who returns punts. Obviously, Wysong is out. I'm looking for him down on the sideline. I don't know that I see him. That doesn't mean he's not there. But again, if you're just joining us, Luke Wysong had a 41-yard reception and went to the tent.
Good catch interference.
And as we talked about,
Kicking team, number 21.
New Mexico State, in a couple of their games this season, has really self-destructed in the second half. So that is going to be a theme to watch here. Are they able to keep up the level of play that they brought the first 2 quarters? And the Lobos, on the other hand, last week against Tennessee Tech, really put the pedal to the ground. So same thing, going to be interesting to see if they can sustain the level of play that they brought in from the second half, the first half.
The Aggies did not score last week in the second half in their 33-17 loss in Lynchburg against Liberty. But these are 2 like teams, and it'll be interesting to see. 12 minutes to go, first possession in the 3rd quarter, first possession of the second half for Dylan Hopkins. He's got good field position at the 40. Krosky Merritt dances his way to the 5-yard line. There's that guy again, Keyshawn Elliott. He had 7 tackles in the first half. He's the one who rides Bill to the ground. 5 yards on first down, 2nd and 5 for the Lobos.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Jeff, if Elliott doesn't make that touchdown or doesn't make that tackle, that's a touchdown. That is a touchdown. All of the pursuit was flowing to the other side. Krosky Merritt was able to cut it back, and that was just a shoestring tackle able to bring him down. But he was looking at that goal line.
Bill stays in behind Dylan Hopkins. Takes it off the right side and has some room across the 50 to about the 45-yard line. He says, I'm not down, but he is. First down for New Mexico. Tackle was made there by New Mexico State's Miles Rouser. Boy, Rouser, another good half by him. He was second on the team in tackles in the first half. The guy they don't even list on the depth chart, but he had 6 tackles and caused a fumble. Really had the biggest defensive play of the game was made by Rouser. Another tackle there. Bill is up to 55-plus yards for Corey Krosky Merrick. First down for the Lobos. They're in Aggie territory. 17-10, New Mexico State. Dorian Lewis checks in at running back behind Hopkins. And now we got a timeout in New Mexico.
Timeout, New Mexico.
Danny Gonzalez is going to use a timeout early to figure something out. This is a pretty big drive, he thinks, for them to set the tone here in the second half. I know we talked about this last week, George. He doesn't, especially in the second half, doesn't want to burn timeouts. They did this at Texas A&M, burned timeouts early in both halves. He said, I don't mind it as much in the first half. Didn't want to do what he just did right here, especially on first down.
Yeah, and especially in a close football game, right? That's really when it begins to matter, is in a close football game when those timeouts are going to really be gold at the end of this game. And so see how this also begins to play out.
So Luke Wysong is down there in that huddle, number 15. He's wearing a headset and not a helmet. And I just saw him. I'm trying to find him again and see if there's anything bandaged. You see anything on him? Because I just saw him in that huddle. And again, the Lobo receiver who came out after a 41-yard reception in the first half, held his wrist, went to the red medical tent, and then they took him into the building. Haven't seen him on the field since, playing, still in uniform. First down and 10, Lobos. Hopkins left side. That's Washington's first catch. He runs backwards and is corralled by Elliott again. Keyshawn Elliott, the Will linebacker, who is a sophomore from Richmond, Missouri, is a stud. Came in second on the team in tackles. He's got at least 9 already. Drops Washington for a loss of 5 on the reception, 2nd and 14.
Yeah, and he wasn't fooled by that play at all. I mean, a little bit of a counter and misdirection, but he was not fooled by that play at all. He saw the lineman trying to get out. He put his foot in the ground, ran, and met DJ Washington behind the line of scrimmage.
And then DJ went backwards and couldn't score it away. They come tight on the left side. Lewis is the back. Hopkins wants to throw. He has time, and he overthrows his receiver. Looking on the right side for Andrew Erickson, just led him a little too far. 3rd down and long for the Lobos.
Yeah, and Hopkins just seems to be a little off tonight. He generally is in such good timing and in such good rhythm with his receivers, but he just looks a little off tonight.
Lobos need to get to the 36-yard line of New Mexico State. It'll be 3rd and 14. On the season 3rd down conversions, Lobos were 41% coming in. Today, not as good. 2 of 4 for New Mexico on 3rd down. Hopkins drops straight back, now flushed. Rolling right, there's a flag on the play behind him. He's pushed out of bounds and escorted there by Buda Paletti. Flag in the backfield where you would suspect a holding call. Buda Paletti was the guy escorting Hopkins out of bounds. Got to believe it's a holding. If it's a holding call, the Aggies will force the Lobos to punt and decline.
Offense number 56. Penalties decline. 4th down.
Issei Matautia, the guilty party. Lobos sophomore right guard. So they will punt it. Aaron Rodriguez will come on for the punt. And both offenses are going to give it up on their first possession of the second half. Now we're playing a little bit of a field position game.
Yeah, you were taking my thoughts there, partner. That's exactly what I was thinking, is see if UNM can flip this field, pin New Mexico State back down, and get a nice defensive stand.
That's Jordan Smith to receive it for the Aggies. He takes it at the 14 and is dropped immediately there. Dropped immediately at the 14, and that's where the Aggies will set up shop. It was Deuce Jones running down there to make the tackle.
Look at Deuce Jones getting a little love on the side of the ball.
17-10. Aggies lead the Lobos with 9:25 to go in the 3rd quarter here in Albuquerque. Diego Pavia backed up to his own 9-yard line, starting for the Aggies. They lead 17-10 over the Lobos. Rolls the pocket to the right and was able to flip it out and complete out to the 13-yard line. Complete to Jordan Smith on 1st down for a 4-yard gain, maybe 3. It's the first time I think they've rolled the pocket, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say that, partner, and I wonder if that's going to be a little wrinkle that we'll see from the New Mexico State side, just to get Pavia out on the edge a little bit, give him a bit more time to get rid of the football, because UNM is really beginning to ratchet up the pressure. Lots of games, linebackers beginning to run switches, D-line really beginning to be starting to move quite a bit as well.
2nd and 7, 3 receivers to the left for Diego Pavia. Thomas is the running back off his right hip. Straight drop this time, lots of time. Now he's running out of it, and he throws to the right side, complete, and it's going to be a 1st down, pushed out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Pass complete to Chris Bellamy, his first catch of the night, 7th on the season. Pavia with a lot of time, a lot of composure, and was able to go through his progressions and find Bellamy for a 1st down.
Yeah, and UNM is doing a much better job up front defensively of closing the running lanes. That's what was happening in the first half, is that they were allowing those running lanes to open up. But every time Pavia saw something pop open just now, there was a UNM defender in his way.
1st down, fresh set for the Aggies. Now Thomas lines up directly behind Diego Pavia. He sticks it in the gut of his big running back, who gets room around the right side and finds 7 yards, pushed out of bounds at about the 26, call it the 27-yard line, 6 yards on 1st down. Sets up 2nd and 4 for the Aggies.
Yeah, and they continue to work that right side of the offensive line, right? You got big 66, big 51 out there just paving the way, getting some movement, and really moving the line of scrimmage. And that time they did a nice job of sealing off the edge, letting Thomas get around to the outside. So another area that we're just going to continue to watch tonight is this right side of the New Mexico State offense.
Tim Beck is their veteran offensive coordinator, really, really good coach, and he's mixing it up a lot, throwing different formations at this Lobo defense and letting Diego Pavia do a bunch. This time he keeps it, does the quarterback. Up the middle, squirts himself through for a first down all the way out to the 37-yard line where he's finally stopped. But the young man is elusive, he's slippery, and he bounced another one for 11 yards and a first down for the Aggies.
Little chippiness going on down there. Guys starting to push and shove. But overall, I will say, partner, I think these guys have done a nice job of controlling their emotions tonight.
It's something both coaching staffs talked about, and they said you've got to control the emotions. Both staffs talked about don't be the first one, right?
That's right.
Don't start
That's
it. Now,
right.
they always catch the second one, but you've got to control your emotions in a rivalry game like this. Fresh set it down for Diego Pavia and the Aggies. Gives it to Thomas. Left side, running away from the Lobo defense. He is finally dropped after he runs over Christian Ellis. Ellis was the one who got in the way after 9 yards. Looked like nothing. Thomas gets loose for 9 on first down where it'll be second down and 1.
Yeah, and what's happening is New Mexico State, their offensive line is not only moving the line of scrimmage, but some of their guys are getting up to second-level blocks. And what do I mean by that? They're able to get up to the linebackers and the safeties, get a man on a man, and lock those guys up. And so it's allowing these running backs time to get out to the edge and bob and weave their way.
You take a shot here, partner, for the Aggies? Second and 1?
Why not?
Kind of my thought. Lobos look like they're coming. They got 6 guys on the line. They bring all 6. Pavia keeps it, and there's nobody back there. Pavia, if he got around that corner, which he did not, was going to have a whole lot of places to run. Dragged out of bounds finally by Noah Pola-Gase. Another first down for Diego Pavia, who continues to have himself a night.
And he is really running that mesh well, man. I mean, he just really stuck that ball in the belly of the running back, was able to hold it. Once he saw that defensive end commit, boom, he pulls it out. A nice 9-yard gain.
You saw the end, Destin Gaynor, who was frozen on it, and that's who Pavia was reading. He read him perfectly. Gaynor went for the fake on the ball carrier, and Pavia was able to get the end. First down for the Aggies. They're in Lobo territory. Gives it to Thomas this time. Room around the right side. Breaks a tackle. Christian Ellis was the first one there to slow him down. And then the Lobos running to the football as they are taught to do. We're able to make the stop. A bunch of guys in on that for New Mexico.
There's a little bit about this game that feels kind of old school, right? I mean, these guys are just lining up and going after it at each other. I love that aspect of the game. Both using their backs just to grind things down. Both big guys on both sides, the offensive line, defensive line. Real battle in the trenches tonight. Enjoying watching this football game.
Now, Santorinos gets credit for the tackle. It's second down and 2. Another 8-yard gain on first down for the Aggies, who are just running the ball really, really, really well. That is their speedster, Monte Watkins, who gets loose on the right side, breaks through the first tackle. We haven't seen him a whole lot, but Monte Watkins for the first down. He gets across the 30 to the 28-yard line. They're moving the chains again is New Mexico State.
Yeah, and you know Coach Reffett and Coach G are just going crazy right now watching this team run the ball right down their throat.
And that's what they're doing, right? 151 yards, now 161 yards rushing for New Mexico State.
And they run for 217 a game, partner, right? So they're right on track for what they generally do every single week, week in and out.
First down for the Aggies. That's Jamani Jones, their other running back, who's listed first on the depth chart, but kind of their other one tonight. He gets through Santorinos at the bottom of the pile for the stop for New Mexico. 4 or 5 yards. It's probably closer to 5, right? On first down again.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, partner, the thing that's happening is that you've got a rotation of running backs, right? And so these guys are coming in, they're getting a break, and they're staying pretty fresh. They've got real fresh legs, and the offensive line, again, is just doing a great job of getting a push, moving that line of scrimmage, and these running backs are doing what they do.
Boy, at some point he's going to take a shot, I think, right? I mean, they've been running it.
Yeah, you got to look out for the play action here.
Right.
You got to look out for the play action.
Tim Beck call that. Nope, just give it to him again. That's Jones left side, and a good tackle there by Alec Marenko coming up and saying, I'm having none of that. Loss of a yard sets up third down for the Aggies. Marenko from Burgess High School down in El Paso. Middle linebacker coming through and making a big play. It's a little bit of noise from what's a nice crowd here in Albuquerque tonight. Students have shown in a big way. Traffic getting into this place. It's been a minute since it felt like this in here, and it's nice. Hometown team trying to send the hometown fans home happy and reward them. Third down for the Aggies. Brady, the receiver, lines up in the backfield. And a timeout called by New Mexico State.
New Mexico State. They're first. Timeout on the field for media.
2:16 to go. Third quarter, 17-10. New Mexico State will have third down when we get back. They lead the Lobos 17-10 here in Albuquerque. Third down and 6 for New Mexico State. Big play for Diego Pavia and the Aggie offense. They lead 17-10. Fakes to Thomas, looks to the end zone, throws into the end zone. It is incomplete. A whole lot of contact and a flag down there. Defending was Zach Morris. And he walks away saying, what did I do? They were looking deep for Trent Hudson. Morris and Hudson had a whole lot of contact, and the flag came in.
Yeah, we've got a flag
down here near the line of scrimmage, too.
Yeah.
So they'll figure it all out, and Jonathan Noli, your referee tonight in the white hat, will let you know what's going on. But this is a big, big call for both sides of this football field. Jerry Kill and his staff all the way out near the hash, near their 30-yard line. Danny Gonzalez inside his 20 wants to know what's going on. Two head coaches will listen like you do.
There's several fouls on the play. Pass interference, defense number 2. Personal foul, offense number 19. Personal foul, defense number 18. All penalties offset. Replay third down.
Well, a whole lot of nothing that just happened, guys. You got 2 penalties on one team, 1 on the other, and you know what? Hocus pocus, mate. It's like the magic eraser. It all went away.
That's right.
We're going to do 3rd and 6 all over again.
One more time. Run it back.
Actually, they're back in the Aggies. Yep, back to the original line of scrimmage, a 24-yard line. So they got to get to about the Lobos 17 for a first. Third down, Diego Pavia goes under center. Now he comes back out. Star Thomas is his running back. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Pavia looks over to get a signal. Drop straight back. Here come the Lobos with pressure, and it is caught by Brady for a first down, and 2 flags come in on the hit. Jonathan Brady went up and caught it, got popped at the 15-yard line, and 2 flags are in. It's a first down, Aggies.
And offensive guys are going to tell you that's a mesh route. Defensive guys are going to tell you that was a pick.
So
and
you
I think
saw
they
a
might
pick.
be a pick there, yeah.
So again, they'll figure this one out.
Pass interference, offense number 85. 15-yard penalty.
You are dead right, so they'll repeat third down, but back him up. The Aggies are furious. Their coach, Jerry Kill, is out on the field, and he is just barking with 2 hands, fists flying, barking at that side judge who called it. Would you call that barking? I mean, I don't know how.
That's Coach Kill for you,
and
right?
They back him up to the 39. Just tell me what happened.
That's a huge play.
Yeah, you didn't see it here on the side, but it was a rub route.
Yeah, it was a rub route, right? And so what happens is essentially is you have 2 receivers who run opposite routes. They get the defender caught up, and there's a little bit of
it's a pick.
Shoulder. Yeah, exactly. It's a pick, just like the old basketball play.
3rd and 21. Aggies need the 17. Third time we're running this third down. Here come the Lobos. Are sitting everyone, and Pavia's loose. Pavia gets to the sideline and is forced out of bounds at the 35. And so it'll be 3rd and long. That was big number 90, Tyler Keeney from Los Lunas, who escorted Pavia out of bounds. We got someone down on the sideline.
I think that's Pavia.
It is Diego Pavia. Pavia was, I don't know that he was pushed out of bounds at the end. And I'll tell you what, those guys came running over from New Mexico State. You don't like a guy going down on the other guy's bench. He looks to be just fine. That young man is about as tough as anybody in football, huh?
Yeah,
I mean, you played the game.
I'm telling you.
So it's going to be 4th down and long. Where do they spot the football? There's Jerry Kill trying to figure out from Jonathan Noli what's going on.
How about Coach Kill, though, man?
I'll tell you
I
what.
mean.
So he comes into this as the 10th winningest active head coach in football, in FBS football. Let's see what happened here on the back end of this. So Diego gets escorted out, and he slid. I mean, there's nothing there, right? He slid down, and guys got out of the way. All right, so they're going to try the field goal. This is going to be 47 yards. Ethan Albertson's long on the year is 37. He is 4 for 5 on the year. Albertson's kick on the way. That looks perfect, and it is.
Right down the pipe.
Tell you what, both kickers have been good, and that's not always been the case in this series. Minute 17 to go, third quarter. Aggies just went down and scored. They're up by 10, 20-10. New Mexico State leads New Mexico. Aggies marched down the field, 12 plays, 61 yards. They ate up 8 minutes and 8 seconds. 20-10, New Mexico State. Partner, it is a big offensive series for New Mexico.
Yeah, biggest offensive series of the game here. They've got to get a bit of traction and rhythm. I mean, Dylan Hopkins has just been in and out all night, very inconsistent, and his receivers haven't been able to get open. And credit to New Mexico State. They've done enough up front to keep him uncomfortable in the pocket, and they've been doing a great job on the back end covering up these UNM skill players. Hopkins,
who was the offensive player of the week in the Mountain West Conference last week, he had a terrific game last week, 13 of 17, threw for 4 touchdowns. Today, throwing the football 7 of 18 for 132 yards. They're going to need him now, and this Lobo offense needs to move a little bit. Luke Wysong on the sideline. He's out in a sling. I don't know if it was a wrist or a shoulder, but they've lost one of their weapons. After a 41-yard catch, he went down straight to the medical tent. Then he went in, still in uniform. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merrick, near side. Across the 30 and ridden down at about the 38 by Keyshawn Elliott, who's got double-digit tackles for New Mexico State today.
And I got to tell you, partner, I just saw Shanko Matatua put it on one of these defensive linemen. I haven't seen a pancake like that in quite some time, but man, that's what really opened up that edge, is him putting people on their back like that. Woo.
8 yards on first down for Bill. 69 yards for Ja'Cory Krosky-Merrick. They give it to him again on the left side. Squirts through the hole, and he will get a first down. Tyler Martinez makes the tackle at the 38-yard line. Gain of 5 for Ja'Cory, and a first down for the Lobos as we come up on 28 seconds to go.
Yeah, and it feels like the Lobos are beginning to reset their offense a little bit, still running the football. I wouldn't be surprised if we begin to see a little bit of play action get mixed in here. But they're slowing the game down a little bit, and I would also be interested to see if they're going to do some short passes just to get Hopkins moving and get him in a little bit of a rhythm.
10 seconds to go. Let's see if the Lobos get a playoff. We're at 6 seconds, and they do. Fake to Bill. Hopkins throws, and it is complete to Andrew Erickson. Erickson fights his way across the 48 to the 49. That'll be good enough for a first down, and the Lobos will have a first down when we start the fourth quarter. We have played 3 here in Albuquerque in an entertaining rivalry game. They've done this 113 times now, the Lobos and Aggies. Aggies lead the Lobos here in Albuquerque 20-10 going to the fourth quarter. 10 at their own 49-yard line. Dylan Hopkins is the quarterback for the Lobos. He's gone the whole way. Gives it to Lewis, who's got room on the right side. Dorian gets 9 and pushed out of bounds after the gain of 9. A big gain on first down. Jordan Vincent, the strong safety, came up to push him out of bounds for New Mexico State. That's what the Aggies did to the Lobos. Big chunks on the ground on first down will make a drive last a whole lot longer, won't it?
I tell you, partner, that's what you need on first down. And UNM is finding a bit of a rhythm again, particularly on the ground, right? I mean, they've been rolling up some yards, and they've really, this drive, been on the ground the vast majority of the time.
Aggies went over to the sideline as the play clock is not started. Jeff Symbieta, George Carter. We're at University Stadium in Albuquerque. The 113th time the Lobos and Aggies have played football. It's a big rivalry. Aggies won last year down in Las Cruces. They're winning 20-10 here as we've just got started here in the fourth quarter. Second down short. Actually, first down. He did get the first down. Hopkins going to throw on first down. Comes near side. It is caught and out of bounds. That is Deuce Jones. Gain of 11, out to the 30, and another first down for New Mexico. That might be Dylan's best throw of the day.
Yeah, the last couple of passes, the one to Erickson and then the one down here to Deuce Jones, were the best throws I've seen him throw all day. It seems like he's starting to develop a bit of a rhythm, and really what you want to do as a quarterback when you're running those deep comebacks or those out routes is squeeze the football between the sideline and your receiver, and that's exactly what he did there. Gave Jones the opportunity to run with the ball a little bit as well.
Bill, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merrick back in as the running back. Dylan drops straight back. Has time. Now he's flushed. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to put it away and run. Crosses about to the 30 where he's tripped up initially, and a late flag's going to come in on the hit by Elliott. He was tripped up initially by Andre Selden and finished by Keyshawn Elliott, and the flag came in late, and that may be a late hit.
And I'll tell you, partner, he missed Hickson going down the seam. Hickson was wide open
play,
going down the seam. He puts a little arrow on that ball.
Defense number 44, late hit after the play.
So that's a big penalty against New Mexico State. Jerry Kill on that far sideline at the 30-yard line is furious. Those are the kind, man, you got him behind the chains a little bit. This is going to be second down at about 10, and here's the late hit, and he did. He took 2 steps and finished him off.
That's just a bad play. Undisciplined football, right?
For a young man who's played a heck of a football game.
He's played fantastic tonight. That's just an undisciplined football play. You get a little caught up in the emotions, right? You see a quarterback rolling around on the ground. You want to finish him off, but you got to be smarter than that, young man.
Ja'Cory Krosky-Merrick, nowhere to go, squirts through for about a yard. The ball's on the ground.
Ball's out.
Ball is on the ground. Now, the far side referee is saying he was down. So the ruling is that the ground caused it. He was down. A gain of maybe a half a yard. Give him a yard. It'll be second down at 9 for New Mexico. Bill is down.
Well, it looked like he came down somewhat awkwardly on his head. Oof.
Yeah, he did. Looked like Gabe Iniquez. Was that number 10 coming off that edge?
It was.
Who made the initial hit.
And that's the problem, partner, I've got to say about this field turf. As beautiful as it is, man, I mean, I think this stuff is so dangerous and causes more injuries than good old grass.
Been a whole lot of talk about that, huh?
I'm telling you.
Hopkins on play action, flips it out to Lewis on the far side. Dorian shakes a tackle and gets down to about the 11. Let's see where they mark it. They'll mark it at the 12. It'll be a yard short of a first down, but a nice move by Dorian Lewis on the reception to make it 3rd and short.
And Dorian Lewis has been putting in work tonight, man, and he's telling these young men, you want some of this? Come on, there's more where that came from. Nice job getting out on the edge, making people miss, and that's what he does with the football in his hands. He's a bit more shifty, right? But he's also going to put his head down and run you over if he needs to. Beautiful move.
That was Jeremiah Vessel who was out there that he left behind. So 3rd down and 1 for the Lobos. Dorian Lewis right up the middle. Lewis squirts down to the 2 for a first down, New Mexico. 1st and goal for the Lobos.
And he's feeling it.
Right up the middle, power football. Jordan Vincent came up from the strong safety position for the Aggies to make the tackle.
Yeah, the battle in the trenches tonight, partner, has just been back and forth. I mean, these offensive and defensive lines are throwing absolute haymakers at each other, and that's how a football game should be. Football games are won in the trenches, and who's going to be able to withstand it?
Dorian Lewis, right side. Lewis dragging people to the goal line and stopped just short of the goal line. It'll be 2nd down and goal. Tell you what, I think both offensive lines have played pretty well.
Both offensive lines have played outstanding.
You know why you can tell that? Because the rushing yardage is pretty good.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But, I mean, just watching it, Lobos have ran for 143 yards. Aggies have run for 174 yards. 11-11 to go. Lobos trail by 10. They're knocking on the door. Give to Lewis again. He is stopped on a heck of a play by number 10, Gabriel Iniguez. Iniguez is the one who broke through, made the – was it 10 or 40? I think it was Iniguez, right?
I think it was Iniguez, yeah. Yep, he's coming off the pile right now.
He was the one who busted through off the end. And again, the Lobo offensive coaches were saying, man, they come in hard off the corners. They angle in. That's what New Mexico State does well. What do the Lobos call here? What does Coach Vincent want to do? Brian Vincent's the offensive coordinator, was the head coach last year, interim head coach at UAB. He's turned 7 offenses around. This is the 7th. He's going to roll the pocket out. Hopkins wants to throw. He does. Touchdown, Erickson. Touchdown, New Mexico. Andrew Erickson on the 3-yard touchdown from Dylan Hopkins, and the Lobos are in the end zone.
Yeah, and that was a big-time football play there, partner. I mean, Hopkins just waited, and then boom, Erickson sits down in the zone, finds a little soft spot, Lobo touchdown.
A big play, so they decided to roll the pocket, which is something they haven't done a whole bunch. Rolled him against his body, a right-handed quarterback going left. He was patient and found Andrew Erickson in the back of the touchdown. Erickson's first touchdown reception of the season. The extra point is tacked on by Luke Drizwicki, and we have a 3-point game. 10-16 to go, fourth quarter. Aggies are going to get the ball when we come back to Albuquerque. New Mexico State leads New Mexico 20-17.
That was not an easy throw.
Well, we called it the Lobos' biggest offensive series of date in this young season, and the Lobos answered. They went 75 yards in 11 plays, 601, Dylan Hopkins to Andrew Erickson, a 1-yard touchdown. Rivalry games are supposed to be tight, aren't they? We got a 2017 game between New Mexico and New Mexico State with 10 minutes and 16 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. The Drizwicki kick will go through the end zone. Diego Pavia will set up shop at the 25-yard line. And the young man from Volcano Vista High School here in Albuquerque is having a heck of a return to the Duke City playing for New Mexico State.
He sure is, and let's see what he can manufacture. This is also an equally as big drive for New Mexico State. Can they do what they did last time around, just suck some time off of that clock, or is UNM's defense going to step up? Someone on that side of the ball needs to make a play.
Pavia's rushed for 96 yards. Only once before has he rushed for over 100 in his New Mexico State career. He had 125. He's going to throw over the middle and has a man. That's Brady. Brady is running away from everyone. Jonathan Brady is going to go for a 75-yard New Mexico State touchdown.
And just like that,
Pavia to Brady. First play action. And look, we talked about on the last drive, the Aggies ran the ball down the Lobos' throats. And I said, when do they take a shot? First down, play action, and there goes the speedy Jonathan Brady for a touchdown. 75 yards from Pavia, and it is a 2-score game again.
You called it, partner, and that's what these guys do, right? Brady is a game breaker. He's had a reception for 80 yards this year. He just cashed in another one.
Second touchdown catch of the night for Brady. Second touchdown pass for Pavia. The extra point is good. It took them no time to go 75 yards, right? I mean, it took them like what? How long does it take Brady to run 75 yards? No time at all. Call it 10 seconds. That's the official drive. 10 seconds, one play, 75 and 10. It's a 10-point game. A young man can run, can he?
He can now. He can. And I'll tell you what, they were picking on young Aaron Smith there. I think they realized that this is his first opportunity to get some burn, and they took a shot. Probably saw something there all night. But I'll tell you what, partner, again, that play action, they just lulled the Lobos to sleep, and then boom, they hit you with one over the top.
Brady for 3 catches, 109 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's from Bishop Gorman High School in Vegas. Now, why is that a place where I know when you were looking at it, the receiver coach, Tony Sanchez, who played for New Mexico State, was the former head coach at Bishop Gorman, but also the former head coach at UNLV. He's back in Cruces. He's one of all of the entire staff. The entire New Mexico State staff is back from last year. One of only 7 schools who was able to retain their whole staff. But Tony Sanchez certainly has a lot of connections back at Bishop Gorman, and that young man is a special one. 27-17 as the kick's going to go through the end zone, and the Lobos will set up shop at the 25-yard line. Well, is this the next biggest?
Has to be, right? I mean, again, and this is where it's good having someone like Hopkins who's played a lot of football, particularly deep into football games, right? And so he's going to have to manufacture something here because this New Mexico State team is not taking their foot off the pedal.
So let's see what the Lobos can do. They were just on the field. They just had a long drive. It took them 6:01. Not sure they want to do 6:01 again now. There might be a little bit more urgency in a 2-score game. Aggies lead by 10. There's 10:05 to go. Lewis is the setback with Hopkins, who's going to roll the pocket to the right side. Good block by Dorian to free his quarterback, and it is complete. That's Jeremiah Hickson, who got a foot down. Good for 13 yards and a first down for New Mexico.
Yeah, and again, we're really beginning to see UNM start to move the pocket a bit, get Hopkins out on the edge, gaining him a little bit more time, right? And you're beginning to think, was that defensive line, because of the rush being so heavy, putting too much pressure on Hopkins? But now that he's been outside of the pocket, he seems to be a bit more comfortable and has got a nice little rhythm going back to the last drive.
Here's where the new rules come in. Now, in the past, you'd have been out of bounds and the clock stops. Well, you go out of bounds, and once the ball is set, the clock is running. And Lobos, I know, are aware of that. The clock is running under 9:30. Hopkins straight drop, pumps, goes deep, looks and has a man, and it is incomplete. Looking down there for Andrew Erickson, wasn't able to find him on first down.
Yeah, and Erickson has really had a nice football game tonight. He's been doing everything that he can to get open, and he's just one of those guys that when you throw the football his way, 9 times out of 10, he's going to catch it. Now, that one was a little bit outside of his fingertips, but he is a solid receiver to go to and is always there to make the catch when you need one.
They've looked at him 5 times, 3 completions to Andrew Erickson. Second down and 10. The clock is stopped now on the incomplete. So it does stop, give you time to get back. 9:22 to go. Lobos trail by 2 scores. Lewis, and terrific play. Coming up to make the tackle is Andre Selden. Coming up from that left cornerback position, found himself 5 yards deep in the backfield, and a big tackle for loss by Selden. Lobos are facing 3rd and 15.
Yeah, the tight end went in a little bit of motion, but Selden didn't go with him. He stayed there on the edge and basically just kind of acted as the cornerstone. Play came right to him, and he goes up and he makes the play.
Big play now for New Mexico's offense at 3rd and 15, 8:50 and ticking. Lewis stays in as the back. Hopkins drops straight back. They send 4. Hopkins throws right side. It is incomplete. Pushed out of bounds, and defending there again was Andre Selden. Looking for Ryan Davis. Selden makes the play. It's 3rd and 15. Lobos have to kick. They brought 4, got a little pressure to him. And Dylan, and I was watching more of the backfield. It feels to me, and I got to look at a wider view, a Lobo receiver is able to find separation.
They haven't been able to find separation, and they keep working the sidelines, but here's the thing. They're doing such a great job of collapsing the pocket in New Mexico State, meaning that Hopkins just doesn't have time to go through all of his progressions to see where his receivers are.
That's Jordan Smith. Smith across the 40. Jordan Smith to the 47. The Aggies have the lead. The Aggies have the ball, and the Aggies have really good field position when we come back. 8 minutes, 26 seconds to go. We're in the 4th quarter in Albuquerque. New Mexico State's got a 27-17 lead over New Mexico. 8:26 to go, 4th quarter. New Mexico State's got a 10-point lead over New Mexico, and the Aggies have the ball. And they have good field position, first down at the 47-yard line, and they will be in no hurry. Jeff Symbieta, George Carter. George, the offensive line in New Mexico State in their rushing game has been really good. That's Amonte Watkins on first down, 4 yards. They've gotten chunks when they wanted it. They have run the ball well, and then they hit the home run after running the ball and running the ball and running the ball. They've had a 1-play drive, 75 yards. Diego Pavia, the quarterback from Albuquerque, hit Jonathan Brady, and they had a 10-point lead. They've run the ball for 174 yards.
Yeah, and they've just been doing that all night, right? I mean, this offensive line has been winning the line of scrimmage, opening up massive holes for these running backs to run through, and then you pepper in the play action, right? And we've seen that. New Mexico State has played complementary football tonight to the definition, to the T of it.
2nd and 6. Pavia gives it to Watkins. Around the left side, Marenko was the first guy there, missed the tackle, and he's ridden out of bounds by Noah Pola Gates. Marenko had a chance to stop him for no gain, maybe a loss. He bounced off of him, and Pola Gates rode him out of bounds. There's a flag on the play. It's interesting. We had a conversation with Troy Reffert, you and I did yesterday, the defensive coordinator. Let's get the
offside. Defense number 99, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty.
That was one of the things he talked about.
Down.
Lobos had 6 offsides last week, and in their first 2 games, the opponents, New Mexico's opponents, that would be Texas A&M and Tennessee Tech, had 9 third down conversions for first downs on Lobo penalties.
Right.
That was another one.
Right, and that's another big
that's
one.
not a conversion. it's going to be second down
Close.
1. Yeah, it did, so it didn't convert. But he also talked about tackling. And I'm not sure I think they've tackled great today. Do you?
Yeah, I agree with that, partner. I mean, there's been a lot of shoulders, right? Just kind of throwing shoulders into guys, and that's just not going to get the job done.
Pavia gives it to Star Thomas. He is wrapped up initially. Let's see if he was able to fight his way all the way through it. First guy there was Gabe Lopez. It looks like he's just short and is going to set up 3rd and half a yard as the clock continues to tick. Lobos have 2 timeouts left. This is a pretty big play.
It's a huge play in this football game.
Nice crowd on hand tonight on an absolutely idyllic evening. You couldn't ask for anything more here in Albuquerque today. It storms last night, nothing tonight. 3rd and about a half a yard. 2 backs back there with Diego Pavia. He keeps it. Looking to throw. He's being pressured. Pavia does throw. It's incomplete. Couple guys got there. Now what do you do?
Yeah,
Alec Marenko was the last guy there. So did they throw it on 3rd down knowing they would go for it on 4th?
It kind of feels that way, right? That play makes me feel like they knew they had 2 downs to get that first down.
The way their offensive line has gotten what they want, they thought they were going to catch the Lobos. Well, now they're going to punt. I thought they would catch them by surprise, and if it's 4th, let's just go and run it down their neck.
And the offensive guys are saying, let us stay on the field, coach. Let us stay on the field.
Lobos don't believe they're punting. Now they're finally running somebody back. So let's see what happens there. This is interesting. Zach Haynes is the punter, and he does punt. It's going to bounce around.
Oh, what a gem.
And deaden at the 11-yard line. So Lobos have 5:56 to go. They're down 2 scores, 27-17. We're going to go to break, and we'll come back and see what they're able to do with it when we come back. 5:56 to go, 4th quarter. New Mexico State leads New Mexico 27-17. It's gotten late for the Lobos. 5:56 to go. New Mexico trails New Mexico State 27-17. They are 87 yards away from a touchdown, and they need 2 scores. Dylan Hopkins, their quarterback, on 1st down, throws near side, caught by Hickson, who spins away from a couple of guys and is finally ridden down by Dion Wilson, who's had a good game. A gain of only 3. Clock ticks, 2nd down for the Lobos. Jeff Symbieta, George Carter, glad you're with us tonight. Hope you enjoyed what was in it. It's not over. It's been an entertaining game. Hopkins drops straight back. Aggies run pressure. Hickson again, and he is stopped immediately upon making the catch. On the stop was Delvin Kirkland. Or was that Derville? Number 5. 3rd and 5. Needs some urgency, and the referee is not allowing them to go because of substitutions. And the Aggies are still running dudes off the field. And the clock is ticking. And the crowd's getting impatient. Handoff is to Lewis. Dorian's got a 1st down. He'll stop the clock to move the chains. He gets it out to the 28-yard line.
Yeah, and UNM.
I thought they would stop the clock. Clock's still running.
It sure is.
They did not stop the clock to move the change. The substitution thing's killing them too because they want to go fast.
Yep.
And the referee is standing in the middle and he won't let them go. And you're losing 30 seconds a snap and you don't have it to lose. And now there's flags down and it looked like the left tackle move. Big number 75, J.C. Davis.
Offense, number 75.
Yep.
5-yard penalty.
J.C.
Remains
Davis.
1st down.
So backs you up. It's going to be 1st and you're playing from behind the chains. Aggie band up, not quite where the Texas band was at Alabama last week, but it's the equivalent that they got here at University Stadium. They've been loud. Hopkins, pressure. Dylan tucks it and he's going to run. Hopkins goes through a tackle and gets dropped at the 32-yard line. He was able to pick himself up about 8 yards. It'll be 3rd down and about 8 for New Mexico.
Yeah, and same story that we've seen all night, partner. I mean, New Mexico
State down. Now
has just done a great job of covering things up on the back end, not letting these UNM receivers shake loose.
2nd down is Hopkins. Flips it near side. Hickson quick catch, close to a first down, about a yard right on it. First down, New Mexico, 38 yards. 38-yard line is where they got it.
Yeah,
Ruled to be a first down.
They've got to start picking up some chunks here. These nice little, first downs are great, but they've got to start moving the football down the field. But New Mexico State's just not allowing them to do that. They're not giving them enough room, nor are they giving Hopkins enough time to get the ball down the field.
8 at time isn't enough for the Lobos, who are down by 2 scores, 27-17. Tick, 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 tick. 3:15 to go and counting. Hopkins drops, has time now flushed, rolls right, throws incomplete, looking for Caleb Medford. And a whole lot of junk being talked over there. Young Andre Selvin, the redshirt sophomore from Bellevue, Michigan. His head was going up and down. I couldn't see what through his face mask, but I could see his head moving.
And just look at the energy right now, right? I mean, you've got the
Where
Lobos kind of walking back to the line. I mean, New Mexico State's up and jumping around. And, really at this point in the game, with the 2-possession game, it's going to come down to who wants it more, right? And right now, New Mexico State is showing that they want this football game more than the Lobos do.
Timeout, New Mexico State, I believe, is what that was. Yeah, Aggies called the timeout. They got 2 left, so do the Lobos. The Aggies burned one on defense. Jerry Kill on that defense and the staff over there. And look, Nate Dreiling is a heck of a coach. He's the defensive coordinator. I think he's called a nice game too. While the Lobos have moved the ball up and down the field in the first half, I thought in the second half, the Aggie defense has done a nice job. We got 398 yards offense for the Aggies, 346. We've had the ball moving up and down the field. But when the Aggie defense needed to stop, it seems like they got it. They got the biggest defensive play of the night, the only turnover.
Yeah.
When the Lobos were in the red zone, you think back to that. If New Mexico and they were driving, if they put it in the end zone, they're up 10-0. You almost got a different feel early.
100%.
You didn't. Instead, the Aggies went down, went 87 yards and scored, and here we are. Second down 10. 3:05 to go. 2-score game. They run it. Dorian Lewis shakes a tackle, but not that one. Boy, that's a heck of a play by Sone Aupiu. The first time we've called his name, but Aupiu came up from the Mike linebacker position and made a big stop. It's 3rd down and 8 for New Mexico. Hopkins. Right side, overthrows Andrew Erickson, and they're about ready to erupt on that Aggie sideline.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of that tonight, right? Whether it's just been the overthrows or it's out in front of guys a little too much, Hopkins has just been off in comparison to what we've seen the last couple of weeks, and I think his completion percentage shows it, right? I mean, he's 15 for 29 at this stage of the game. He's almost 50%, where he generally operates in the 60s.
Andrew Schoolark was defending Fizzit. Lobos got to convert here. You might be able to cash the check. 4th down and 8. Lobos need the 48-yard line. Here they come. Aggies blitzing over the middle. It is caught. 1st down, Washington on the big catch for New Mexico to keep their hopes alive. First catch of the night for DJ. Second catch of the night
for DJ. Nice catch as well, and you can see he's
good
a
throw
big
by
body.
Dylan too.
Great under pressure, right under duress.
They were
New
coming.
Mexico State brought everybody on that play. It was just a nice job of DJ Washington going out and making a play.
They send 3 this time, going deep. He's got Hicks in there. It is incomplete. Bobbled, had his man, and Hickson was unable. Or is that DJ? That's Hickson.
I think that's DJ.
That is DJ Washington. It's 0, not 8.
That big target out there. That big target out there, partner. I tell you. And Hopkins put it on him that time now.
It was going to be a tough catch. He bobbled it out of bounds. And by the time, I'll tell you what. By the time he caught it, take another look. He did put it there. That was DJ Washington. 0, not 8. Sometimes the numbers from far away look, a little bit alike. Long story for nothing. It's 2nd down and 10. I wonder if the Lobo coaches upstairs are looking to see if they want to challenge that. Evidently not. Hopkins to throw again. Far side. That is caught.
And New Mexico State's going to give that up all day, right? I mean, they're going to give that up all day. Just don't beat me over the top. Keep it underneath. Keep everything in front of you. And, yeah, you'll give 10-yard gains all day.
Ryan Davis for the 1st down. It stops the clock. We went out of bounds. 1:58. Lobos need a score an onside kick, and another score. Got to get the first one first. We always have this conversation in these things. You take the field goal if you need it.
Right.
Hopkins, only 3 rushing, going into the end zone. It is incomplete, a whole lot down there. Looking for Deuce Jones, double covered. BJ Schulark was down there. Good coverage by the Aggies. BJ Schulark was there, and then I'll tell you what, Rousers played a heck of a game too.
He's played an incredible game tonight. He's played an incredible game. He's been running all over this field.
But good play by Schulark right there, step for step with him. 2nd down and 10, minute 52 to go. The biggest number right now for the Lobos is that clock. They got to score. Hopkins. Aggies send 3. Incomplete, looking for Washington. Schulark again on the defense for New Mexico State. The senior from Temple, Texas. 2 plays in a row, they've gone at him, and now it's 3rd down and 10.
And someone for this UNM offense just has to step up and make a play, right? I mean, you're at that stage of the game where someone has to make a play and tilt the balance of this thing a little bit here.
Dylan Hopkins, the Aggies send 3. Right side, caught by Medford, and he stays in bounds. He's ruled to have stayed in bounds. It should be a first down, so they'll stop. I believe they stop the clock while they move the change. They do finally at 1:33. Good throw by Hopkins, nice catch by Medford. First down for New Mexico.
That was an absolute dart.
Ball's at the 18. We got movement up front. Who are they going to get? It looked like New Mexico State, but nope, they're going to somebody on the Lobos move.
False start.
Yeah.
False start. Offense, number 56, 5-yard penalty. Remains first
So
down.
they got Isi Matautia 5 yards backwards. First down, New Mexico. 1:28 to go. They trail by 10. Hopkins in a clean pocket, throws left. It is incomplete, looking for DJ Washington again. Boy, I'll tell you one thing. There's a lot of attention wherever number 0 is going. They know he's the big guy. New Mexico State's defense knows what they want to do somewhere near the goal line. He's the guy that can go up and get it. I know the Lobos feel that it's 6'5" and 219. He's got an advantage over these smaller corners, but they haven't been able to find him yet. And there's 2 guys in white everywhere that number 0 goes.
Yeah, they're putting a safety over the top of him now because they understand that that's where UNM is trying to go. He's a big body. He's a big target out on the edge, and they're covering him up. So Hopkins has to find something else either underneath or on the other side of the field with Medford.
2nd down 10. Medford's the receiver on the right. Hopkins is in motion. Dylan throws left. It is caught by Deuce Jones, but short. A gain of only 4. The clock runs. Does Danny use a timeout here? He does not. 1:09 and ticking. Lobos have 2 timeouts left. 27-17 New Mexico. So the field goal unit is coming out. Drizwicki for a 29-yard field goal. This would cut it to 7, then they'd need the onside kick. First things first. Timeout is going to be called by New Mexico State.
Timeout, New Mexico State. Their final.
So that's got to be an alignment thing, right? Right there.
30 seconds.
Right, something wasn't lined up. That's an interesting place to use your last timeout.
It really is, because you're not. I mean, the end of this game is not sewed up yet, right? And so you got to keep one in your back pocket.
Now, if you recover the kickoff, assuming they make the field goal, then it's sewn up. Been a terrific game by Diego Pavia, the quarterback for New Mexico State. Young man who grew up not far from where we sit right now, Volcano Vista High School. Didn't get recruited by the Lobos or the Aggies for that matter. Went to junior college. Won a national championship at junior college, New Mexico Military Institute. Aggies said, come play for us. Midway through the season, he took over the job. Became the MVP of a bowl win, the Quick Lane Bowl. He's thrown for 208 yards today, ran for 96. Luke Drizwicki from 29 yards to make it a 1-score game. The kick is on the way, and he missed it. It hit the left upright, and the game, for all intents and purposes, has just come to an end. The Aggie sideline erupts. The crimson-clad fans are ecstatic, and the people in Cherry and the Lobo side distraught and somewhat in disbelief. I think it was the right call. I mean, there's going to be people who say, and you see the Aggies celebrating with their fans, why did they kick the field? The right call was to kick the field goal there. Your field goal kicker has not missed all year. Right. He hasn't missed an extra point. And it's funny, not funny, ironic. I said to you earlier, the kickers have been great. He's been perfect on field goals, been perfect on extra points. He hits the upright there, and it's ball game. So the Aggies are going to win for the second year in a row. Pavia takes a knee. That's going to cut into his rushing yardage of 96, and we got a bunch of pushing and shoving, and I promise you a bunch of chirping down there. This is an interesting rivalry, man, and with all the stuff that's been off the field and the court and basketball and football, I mean, where we sit, it feels like people were well behaved. It's a spirited rivalry. You've played in it, you get it. It is a special rivalry. We talked to Brian Vincent, the offensive coordinator of the Lobos. He's been in a lot of them, and he said this one feels as intense, if not more, than any I've ever been in.
Yeah, and you want these programs to be on the same level, right? So that every time they line up and play, it's a good football game, and that's what we saw tonight. This New Mexico State program is on the upswing. UNM's got some things to figure out now, and we'll see.
Final score, New Mexico State 27, University of New Mexico 15. Jerry Kill gets his second win. Him and Danny Gonzalez hug at the 40-yard line. There's a lot of respect between these two head coaches. You see Kill and Danny. Danny's giving him a hug and whispering in his ear. Been a tough week for Coach Kill. He missed practice. He missed his press conference earlier this week. His past health issues are well documented. But there's so much respect from Danny. He's talked about they come from the same coaching tree from Dennis Franchione, and they're still embracing. And whatever Danny's saying obviously means a lot to Jerry Kill. They're two really, 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 really good gentlemen right there. And they both wanted to win this game. It means a lot to them, but they have mutual respect for each other. And I'm going to tell you this, partner, from everything we heard that was happening with Jerry Kill, I'm just glad to see him walking off this football field healthy and feeling good. And I'm not rooting one way or the other. I'm rooting for individuals, and that's a good man.
Yes, sir.
Come back and wrap this thing up. New Mexico State has won 2 in a row over the Lobos, 27-17. We'll wrap it up when we come back here in Albuquerque.